Sing it. We
will rock you.
We're peeking all over the place.
We will rock you. Come on. I'm sorry.
What's up, everybody?
Hey.
The only reason I wasn't clapping and like one, I don't have
You don't have
handrests
arms
like
on
you
your
guys.
chair. That's dangerous.
And two, I'm seeing nothing but red on the sound. What's up, everybody?
Hey.
Welcome to Lights, Camera, Cocktails. We are a podcast that pairs amazing movies. That's what we do, right? Movies
Yeah.
and
Amazing cocktails.
And we peek on the audio tracks.
And now that your speakers and/or headphones are blown out, you can enjoy the rest of the show.
Yes.
I believe it does.
Now that we've blown out your ears, we have the lovely voice of Mr. Daniel Imperiale.
That's me. Thank you.
Very good friend of ours. Wonderful actor, writer.
Keep going.
What else do you do?
Don't stop.
You
Everything.
play music.
Yeah.
You accept compliments.
Time
And
out.
he may play hockey on
Yeah.
occasion.
Got the
What
jersey on.
can't you
He's a
do? is
Captain of the
question.
Hawks.
I have yet to see. He's one of those.
Are you really
I
captain?
can't. Of the Hawks.
Oh,
He's
shit. He
really
really
the captain
is.
of
Right
his
there.
hockey
Okay.
team. Yes.
I can't draw.
I can't draw
Paint.
I'm learning to. I actually painted that for them for Christmas.
Yes. She
Oh, this here? Can I
did.
bring this? Can I bring
I'm
this
like,
out?
yes.
You can.
Can I bring this out?
This
Yeah.
is my
That's
second
our-
ever painting.
That's our Christmas gift from Zenobia.
That's beautiful. I feel like I'm there.
I would love to be
I
there.
really tried. I love the beach.
Yeah, Daniel's one of those guys that's good at many, many things, and it's hard to find the things that he's not good at.
Yeah,
Well,
that's true.
I'm good at
I
drinking.
can't do. I can sing, but I can't do like the musical theater voice. When I'm around musical theater people and they're doing the musical theater voice, and there's something. There's a different quality about it. I don't have that quality. I've never had it. Never
Even
will have
when
it.
you
We're going to
can,
test this out
you
next
still
time at
feel-
karaoke. We're going to choose a musical number.
You've seen me
and
sing
me and
karaoke, but it's like
Courtney
rock
are going to be
vocals.
in the back having a drink. You and Ashley will be up there with the microphones.
And I'm drunkenly in the crowd.
Yes.
Singing
We're all going
along.
to cheer you on.
I'm singing
But there's
along.
something. There's like a hint of talking inside the singing.
There
and
is.
I can't
There
figure
is
out
a
how
way.
to do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it just from singing along with the show tunes for
It's
long enough
because
that
you have-
I
get
don't
like?
know.
You have to.
We'll
you
ask
can't
the
just
expert.
sing. You have to enunciate.
Let's
Yeah.
ask the expert.
Ash-
Babe, Smashley is in the building. She's being
Brr, brr,
polite and
brr.
quiet on the other side. What's the trick to great musical theater talking?
Talk singing, sing talking.
Talking from your diaphragm?
Talking from your diaphragm, like Whoopi Goldberg taught us in Sister Act.
And enunciating. Because you got to make sure. You can't just slur things. Otherwise, people won't follow around along with your story. You
So
know?
you got to
It's
be
been a
like,
long
I'm
time.
gonna be right here.
It's been a long time since I've seen Sister Act. Is there also like a diaphragm joke in there?
No, she just teaches the
I
kids in
feel
Sister
like-
Act 2.
La 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 la. La 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 la.
What am I looking at
Okay,
here?
yes.
happy
Oh my god,
Right
it's been a
when
you got me
week, you
going.
guys. I need
Yes.
a drink.
Anybody unfortunate enough not to be able to see this podcast is
Oh
missing
my
out.
goodness. You guys got to check us out on YouTube. I work hard on it, yo.
Jesus.
Yes, he does.
All right, so what are we drinking here?
Am I allowed to curse?
Fuck yeah. Motherfucking yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, don't you censor
Our
yourself. We got
podcast
you.
is not for children.
If you want me to drink and to censor myself, that's something I can only do one or the other.
The legal
Fair
enough. Fair
listening
enough.
age is
So I'm sorry,
21.
I interrupted the drink conversation. What is
Oh,
this?
we are drinking the Mighty Bombay.
The Mighty Bombay?
Yes.
I like that.
Okay.
Okay.
It is.
It smells earthy.
Don't you drink it yet. Don't drink it yet. Don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the portions for 2 drinks.
Okay.
Because I got, this is the portions for 2 drinks. So 1.5 ounce of Bombay gin, or just gin in general if you don't got the Bombay.
Oh, it does.
You're gonna be 3 ounces of lemonade. Okay.
Yes. I could have made some homemade lemonade
I'm
had
sorry.
you told me.
Right,
I'm
we got this
sorry.
We
brisk
got
nonsense.
lemons from my mom's tree.
Oh fuck!
Shit.
Get in there. Time out. Start
We'll
over.
be back in 20 minutes.
Start over. Okay, so you're going to put 1.5 ounces of Midori,
Ooh,
our
yeah.
good friend Midori.
Miss Midori.
You're gonna shake that all up in a shaker, and then you're gonna put it in a rocks glass with some rocks.
I don't
and
know
you're
why I
gonna
made
top
Midori a
it
girl,
with club soda.
Club soda. Ooh, okay, so it's got a little carbonation in
So
here.
this, my
Okay.
friends, is called the Mighty Bombay.
All right,
All right,
cheers.
cheers.
Cheers to the W.
In
Yes.
lieu of that, Daniel, why don't you tell everybody what movie we're covering today?
We're talking about the Mighty Ducks.
You sound like a sports announcer.
And you look like one too, like legit.
So, this is a very special film for me as a hockey player. I've been playing hockey since I was a kid, and
And we timed this fairly perfectly.
perfectly.
Wait,
there.
I'm
And-
sorry, we didn't cheers this.
Cheers.
Yeah,
again.
sorry.
cheers.
We,
Okay.
we cheers.
I need to hear
Cheers.
feedback on this drink real quick.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
That'll play. I can barely taste any alcohol in there.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm. I like that. That's a nice combination of each ingredient. You
This
might
is going
say.
down. This is going down.
What's, what is she about to do?
Tastes a little bit like the journey toward passed out. You know,
But
one
I've
of those
done
drinks
my
that you're
job.
drinking, you're like, this is gonna end with me unconscious, like unintentionally unconscious.
I want a little more.
Now-
I'm good on the Midori.
In-
That's me.
For the folks that are just listening to this, we should explain that if you've ever consumed High Seas Ecto Cooler Ghostbusters themed fruit drink, this is the same color. This is the same bright green.
It is.
As Slimer?
Like, more or less, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's similar to the green you'd find in the capsules of ooze in the Teenage
In
Mutant Ninja Turtles
Teenage Mutant
series.
Ninja Turtles?
Just a lot thinner in consistency.
I don't taste anything.
I don't taste it, but I know it's gonna hit.
I'm scared.
That's
Yeah,
a-
it's sweet.
it's a sneaky quick
It's
one.
very sneaky because there's not a small amount of gin in here.
Now, I recommend that we don't add any more gin because for those of us that have listened to
think it's a
many
great
episodes of the podcast, you know what gin does to us.
It's never.
We
good.
need to talk about why we're drinking gin, though.
Yes,
why it's
of
a gin
course.
drink, because this is something that
Nobody's on it.
yeah. Thank
Nobody
you.
I'm
is
ready.
on
Please,
it.
I'm
please.
ready. Are you ready?
Yes.
I don't even know where to. Okay, you're right. Okay, let me start with why we
She's
are
a little
drinking what we're
discombobulated.
drinking.
She came straight from work.
I came. It's been a week, you guys, and I have been literally been like,
You've
I'm ready to drink.
Earn this drink.
I have, so I'm about to get fucked up
Mm-hmm.
on this day. Okay, so the name Gordon Bombay is a combination of
This is
two
who's
gin.
Gordon Bombay in the Mighty Ducks? For those of people
Oh,
that
if
are watching
you-
the film for the first time.
This is true because I do have
Where
listeners.
were you in the 90s?
I do have listeners that were lost. I'm not going to say any names, Daniel, but you were lost.
Wait, Daniel or
No,
Not me, Daniel,
Not this
no.
Daniel. There's a
No,
Daniel
I don't
out
listen
there.
to the podcast. Just kidding. Of course I do.
There's a person out there who knows who I'm talking about, who's never seen anything ever, but listens to every episode that we.
okay, avid listener hasn't watched the
Movie
movie.
No.
hater in
Interesting.
general. Hates cinema, loves podcast.
But
Daniel, we
gets-
can't break it down for you every week.
I mean, Jesus. Okay, so Gordon Bombay is the coach of this Mighty Ducks
District
group.
5.
That's right.
And the name is a combination of two gin brand names, Gordon and Bombay.
Which Daniel pointed this out to us.
He did.
Yeah,
when
I
we
did.
initially
It's
talked
been
about
it's been a
bringing you
long
on.
form theory of mine because he gets pulled over at the outset of the film for drinking and driving, and he has all these other previous movies. So he's clearly got an alcoholic streak,
Sure.
and they've given that to the character. And it just occurred to me we had the beginning of D2, the Mighty Ducks sequel, on
Yeah.
right before we started, just as kind of a refresher. And the sponsor of Team USA is a company called Hendrix. Gin number 3.
Yeah.
I am amazed
You're
how
right,
they
I
keep
never
doing
even-
this.
These are Disney
It's
movies,
just
people.
those subtle jelly beans that they
They
throw
find their
in.
way.
Yeah, we secretly drink when we're at Disney Studios.
So, do you want to hear the herstory
What are we learning about
on
today?
the Mighty Bombay?
Oh, yes.
Please.
A couple years ago, I was on a trip to Big Bear with some friends, and we go to the same bar every year. We go for her birthday. We hang out in the snow. Big Bear is a mountain here in Southern California, and we go to the same bar. And I look at this guy and I go, "What are you drinking?" While we're sitting at the bar, because he had this green ass drink, and he
Okay.
goes, "You don't know what this is?" And I go, no, I don't know what this is. And he's like, "This is the Mighty Bombay." And I was like, "The Mighty Bombay? What is in this creation?" And he told me his secret. And I am breaking my silence today by giving you the mighty Bombay.
It was a booger. He put a booger in it.
And that is the history of this drink.
Okay. I was going to say, I thought you said you made it up.
I totally made it up. So that, but I just made a legend to a drink that I made up. Really, what it was is that I found a drink called the Mighty Ducks, which was this almost exact thing, except that it was vodka and there was no Midori in it. And I was kind of upset. I was like, well, I need the gin, and it's not green, so I just added all that shit.
I like that you made it green.
Thank you.
Well,
Mighty Ducks are
the original Ducks jersey
Was
a
very
beautiful
green.
bright green.
Mm-hmm. It was like a nice forest green.
Mm-hmm. And I see people wandering around in that jersey on the street sometimes. People have the Bombay jersey, the
Dude.
Conway jersey.
Fuck yeah.
They're out there. And obviously, and once again, I've got the Hawks jersey. I think this is the superior jersey. It's
When?
Honestly, I do. I really do. And that's all I'm going to say.
I mean, all right, I'm kind of partial to the Ducks jersey. The original, one from, or not the original one, but the second one from D2. Because that's the first color scheme in jersey of the professional hockey team.
They've gone through some weird stuff with that in the
Have they?
NHL. They, for a brief period, probably 3 or 4 years, it was against the NHL regulations for anyone involved in the league to refer to them as the Mighty Ducks. They officially changed their name to the Ducks.
Okay.
And you couldn't
In
say the Mighty.
2005, yeah.
And if you said Mighty, you would just get fined. And a lot of announcers on the air would just be like, I'll take the fine. And they
Yeah.
just kept calling them the Mighty Ducks.
It's
And
probably
now-
because you'd have to pay
Because
Disney.
you're...
And
That was-
Disney doesn't
yeah.
own it anymore.
It was a Disney thing. I
Yeah.
think
Sure.
they settled the contract, whatever it was, with the Mighty Ducks because they brought that back as a third jersey this season.
I do.
Awesome. Okay.
Before I continue on this history of my drink, for some of you guys who don't know, the Anaheim Mighty Ducks was founded in 1993 after this movie had already come out. So
Yes.
this movie spawned a whole fucking team. This is something that years ago I kept going well, I can't remember if there was a team before or if I just didn't give a shit before.
Nope.
And now once the movie came out, I was like, fuck yeah.
I distinctly remember. I remember
So,
riding
yeah.
our bikes, actually, when the pond was being built. And by the way, it will never be called the Honda Center in my book. It
It's
is
just the
always
pond.
going to be the Anaheim Pond.
Mm-hmm.
I would know what you're talking about because I went to the pond
Yeah.
to go see the fucking Backstreet Boys, but I've gone to the Honda Center to go see. Oh yeah, their Millennial tour. It was the shit.
Whoa.
Back in the day. He's like, whoa, you don't give a fuck.
I don't. The Backstreet Boys, come on.
I'm sorry, I was
No, it's okay.
It was the
girl.
time.
We're all...
Yeah.
But back when the pond was being built, we would ride our bikes down the Santa Ana riverbed to go see it. And actually, I think during this time, people were a little bit nicer because the people that
In
worked
general?
there actually let us in and gave us a tour of what was to be. Don't get me wrong, the structure was built, but it wasn't filled with all kinds of stuff yet. Yet for some reason, they did have merch already.
That's why
And
they let you in case you had a couple dollars on you.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't.
No.
No. How much is that? $45.
Wow.
Shit. How about a sticker?
Yeah.
Nope.
$40.
Exactly.
Well, okay. So let's get in a little bit. I'm just going to stick my toes in on
Yeah,
this
moving
history
right
of
along.
this shit of the Bombay.
Oh, I thought. Okay.
I'm sorry. That was just a made up drink.
Oh, I thought
Story.
that was the Hearst story.
I don't have a lot of history, so I made up a little bit of my fake story. I'm sorry.
Copy that.
If I make it up, I'm the history.
I thought that that's what we were going with.
Okay, so
History
I
is
just wanna know
written
what
by
part of
the winners.
podcast we're in.
we're still in the drink. I'm sorry.
We're still in the Hearst story.
Okay.
Okay.
So, you know when I'm done with it, when I sing it out, then I'm done.
Yeah.
It's been a week.
It has been a week, you guys. Whoa. Okay, so it all started back with Thomas Duncan, and he was a distiller. He bought a distillery in 1761.
Okay.
Okay, at the ripe old age of 24.
This motherfucker.
And he turned it into this huge ass distillery called the Warrington Gin Distillery in London, and it became one of London's biggest distillery for a long time, for a couple hundred years, I think. And then eventually they end up selling it and its secret recipe to the Bombay
Corporation.
Corporation. And it started about, and so they got all the shit and all the workings for it. I don't know why you would sell it. I feel like...
So they straight up, like, Bombay took the recipe and ran with it.
Yes.
Any idea where the sapphire came from?
Oh, the sapphire is part of how they, like, distill it. I feel so there was something in there in that. But it also has the crest of the fucking queen.
Smashly.
Victoria, I believe her name is. On there.
What were we all doing at 24? I know,
24.
Z, you were doing the podcast because it was last month. But
Ooh, yes, you could come
so good.
back.
Repeat guest. Sealed it.
College,
Yeah.
not drinking Bombay. That was for damn sure.
24. Jesus. 24. I was working 3 jobs and training in jiu-jitsu.
Man. I was working overnight security at Macy's,
Nice.
I think, at 24.
Okay. See? We were destined to meet. I was working night crew at Home Depot.
So we were up at the same time.
Yeah. We just didn't know each other
Opposite
yet.
coasts.
I was in my last year of college.
Back in the back.
I had 2 jobs, plus I was in hairspray.
Nice.
Yes.
It was a crazy year. And I dated this hot dude who looked like Will Smith. Oh,
Really?
it
thought
was a
you-
good year.
Wait, when did Rodney come into the house?
He was prior to that. Fuck! Every episode.
Just about to say that.
Smashly Jason.
I just wanted to
fuck
make
both y'all.
Smashly laugh.
Please tell me who Rodney is.
Oh.
He's no one. He's an imaginary
He
person.
is a myth and a legend on this podcast now.
Okay.
He is probably the only boyfriend I've ever mentioned on this show, and they took and ran with it.
Oh my god.
In my defense, I didn't run with it, but
He
I'm
didn't,
just
but he
keeping
didn't
the ball
slow
up
it
in the air
down.
now.
He did not slow it down. He won't let it go. Now I'm getting friends texting me about fucking Rodney. I haven't talked to this guy in like 8 years.
Has he reached out since?
Rodney's,
No.
the,
Does he
Rodney's
know?
the one that got away.
Does he
is
know
not
he's famous now?
He does not know.
Okay, he will.
I'm
God.
so excited to get that email.
Yeah,
God,
right.
I hope not.
So this is Rodney. Can you guys stop talking
Stop
about me,
talking
please?
about me. I'm not doing it. So if you want to bring your lawsuit, to somebody, it ain't me.
Shit.
You guys ready for the stats?
Let's talk
get
about
those
stats.
Okay, so we are watching The Mighty Ducks. It dropped October 2nd, 1992. And the budget was $10 million.
Dude, that is
Nothing.
nothing
Today's money, $18 million. Still nothing.
for a Disney
Yeah.
movie.
Absolutely
nothing.
nothing.
That's because they got kids. You don't
Yeah,
pay
all these kids that weren't
Mm-hmm.
anybody yet.
You don't got to pay the kids.
Trick
And
love the kids. I'm sorry, it just popped in my head.
I've been thinking about Trick Daddy today too. That's
So
funny.
we were talking about early 2000s hip hop in the 1st place,
Ooh.
and how it moved to Dirty South hip hop. That's when Trick Daddy came out.
Okay.
You know, Trick love the kids.
Ooh, that's what I was exactly about to say. You know, he love the kids. Okay, so with using that $10 million, it made $50 million, which in today's money is $91 million.
Huh. But
I
I
would have
heard
thought
it,
more.
I heard that it doubled its money in video sales. Is that correct?
Oh, okay, there you go.
Home video.
Jumping ahead, but
I'm sorry,
I love
I
it.
knew, you know.
I love where you're going. Yes. So in 1992, once it dropped on fucking VHS, it made $54 million, which showed that, like, bitch, just because I couldn't get my mama to go fucking take me to the movie theaters doesn't mean I can't get her to take me to Blockbuster to rent this
Yeah.
every week.
Because that was like peak Blockbuster, 93.
Yeah.
God.
Yes. So
That's when you would go to Blockbuster and you'd see like the teenagers hanging out in front
Yeah.
of Blockbuster. That was the place to be.
It's amazing.
so it made its motherfucking money. So you ready for the Rotten Tomatoes?
Am I? Shit. It's Disney. Yeah, we're fine.
This is our second Disney movie.
What is it?
If you don't count, fucking Mary Poppins.
I've never heard the title like that, but yeah.
Fucking, you never heard fucking Mary
Fucking
Poppins?
Mary Poppins.
That
You know
porn?
that bitch, Mary Poppins?
You know that bitch. What's her name? Julie Andrews?
Spoonful of
I'll
no sugar.
slap
Love
you
her.
if you
I
talk
love
shit
her.
about Julie Andrews. Okay, so yeah, that, and if you don't count fucking Black Panther, then yeah, this is
Yeah,
Sounds like it
'cause
works.
does Marvel count? I mean, I know Disney bought them now, but
If it's on Disney Plus,
it's on
If
Disney
it comes
Plus
in, if it
accounts.
comes in a puffy case, puffy VHS case,
Yeah.
it's Disney. And both Mary Poppins and the Mighty Ducks did.
They
Mighty
did.
Bucks and
I
Mary
had
Poppins
both.
did show up. In
I
those
wish they
puffy.
made puffy DVD cases for Disney films today. Why wouldn't they continue that tradition?
Right? It's like
It was magical. It was the most magical thing of the whole.
I'm sorry.
I bet you my mom still has
Breaks my
those
heart.
puffy cases
Oh my God.
tucked away somewhere.
So I was on Disney Plus the other day. I just want to point out that The Mighty Ducks is not on Disney Plus.
Oh
at
yeah,
this
due to
moment.
contractual rights.
Yeah.
Because when I rewatched
not
it, it was
on
on
there yet.
Hulu or some shit.
But I looked on Hulu
Is that where it's
and
at
I
right
looked
now?
on
I think so.
I looked on Hulu and I looked on Netflix.
Could be Amazon.
It wasn't on there.
Yeah, I think
so. It
maybe
might be Amazon.
It's
I know I didn't have to
I don't
pay,
know what
like, rent
contract
it.
it's under, but it's not on Disney Plus yet.
Because it was
Yes.
produced by a different company and just distributed by Disney, correct?
Possibly.
I didn't see that, but
I think that's the case.
I like this rumor we're spreading.
Let's continue to fabricate things. Yeah. It was funded by a diamond mine in South Africa.
See?
Oh.
That one of the producers struck diamonds, and it was the same diamond mine that was the premise of the film with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
The name
Blood
of which
Diamond.
escapes me.
Blood
Blood
Diamond.
Diamond. Thank
Yes.
you.
See where this
Yeah,
goes.
there were a lot of deaths, a record number of deaths at this diamond mine, but it funded one of the greatest films of all time.
And they found a diamond that was in the shape of a duck.
I
And
know.
that's how they knew
Mm-hmm.
this was the project for them.
It was serendipitous.
See,
So then
isn't
they
it
went to
fun making
Canada
up
and got some
stories?
tax credits.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so yeah, it's not on Disney Plus. Don't go looking on it. But on Disney Plus, it did have a section that said, like, finally released out of the vault. I was like, we're still doing the fucking vault.
Dude, the
shit?
vault thing is
Is that
the
still real?
vault thing is a problem. The vault
is.
thing is a legitimate problem for distribution rights as Disney continues to soak up more of the town, and they're doing this thing now. They did it with Star Wars, where in order to play Star Wars, so there's a law on the books, some of the Paramount Accords or some shit like that from
Okay.
the 40s. I forget exactly what they're called.
Okay.
But essentially, what it says is that movie studios can't own movie theaters. It's as simple as that. Simplest law you could possibly have.
Yeah.
But Disney's so fucking powerful now that
They're monopolizing everything.
they're saying to movie theaters, if you want to play, say, Rise of Skywalker, it has to be on your best screens for this number of weeks.
Oh, yeah.
and the theaters have no say in it.
Oh,
so
yeah,
other
that's how
films
they
are getting
got
getting pushed
Tarantino
aside.
last,
and-
time.
Yeah, and it's and
Oh,
this
yeah, no,
that's just the tip of the iceberg. That is the beginning of a monopolistic takeover.
Oh no, I know because I worked at a movie theater for a very long time, and when Disney movies came out, like there were rules, and you have to have these many showings at all times. You have to have these many showings of the 3D movie of it, and it does have to be on your best screen because it's
Yep.
Hey,
Yeah, I don't remember what year it was, but when The Hateful Eight came out, Star Wars monopolized the ArcLight, where Tarantino was contracted to release The Hateful Eight because it was on 70mm film.
Right.
They already had a pre-existing contract with Tarantino to use that space, and Disney came in and said, no, we're using that space because it's Christmas time and we're airing whichever Star Wars was playing at that time.
Yeah,
And
they're
they
definitely
straight up
setting
broke their contract
setting a
with
dangerous
Tarantino.
precedent, but they keep putting out movies I want to see, so I'm kind of okay with
What am
it
I-
for the moment. I'm like, it's not that bad.
okay,
Until your movie comes out and they're like,
And it gets crushed?
Wait, Daniel
No.
Imperial? No.
Well,
Uh-uh.
I'm making sure I backpedal a little in case Disney produces my movie, in which case they can see me here telling them that I love them and that everything they make is gold.
Oh, that's right. Okay, don't get me wrong. I love Disney.
Yeah, Disney Plus, best streaming service ever. Yeah,
I paid the $12.
I agree. I don't know. Got him.
Oh god,
I totally agree.
green
with
shooting
all
out of my nose. That would burn.
Wait, what movie was that?
What,
It
green?
was a Disney movie where green shot out of somebody's nose. Might have been Flubber. I'm not sure.
I hope so. I thought Flubber was blue.
No, he's
No,
green.
Flubber's green.
Flubber's green.
Flubber's
Yeah.
green.
Fuck, it's been a while.
And
I'm sorry.
Zenobia wants the knife.
I was definitely
I
single
want
digits last time I saw
tonight.
that.
I'm sorry. I won't.
I said,
Do
Okay. Is it time?
you want the Rotten Tomatoes?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, let's get that.
Did we? We never got to the Rotten
No,
Tomatoes.
we got sidetracked.
That happens.
It's fine. It's good.
Okay, critics. 23%.
Crime.
What the?
That's a fucking crime. See? You see?
See?
Yeah.
See what happens, critics?
I
Yep.
throw ice on the floor when I fucking get pissed. How about that? Thank you.
It's been a while since you dropped some ice on the floor, though.
Thank you. I got new tongs and I'm still getting
That's why we have the plastic.
Oh, good. So I don't need to ruin whatever this thing is, this hot plate.
No.
That's a nice little hot
Don't
plate.
you worry about it.
Now, getting back to the lecture at hand, 23%. What the
23%?
fuck?
I don't.
Critics.
I rated it.
This is Disney.
Okay.
Don't tell me that the formula wasn't what you expected.
Doesn't Disney own Rotten Tomatoes? Shouldn't they have like a baseline for
I
all their
wouldn't be
films?
surprised.
If they did, all their movies would be 100%. Which Mary Poppins was at 100%.
Wow. Anything that can stay at 100% for that many years is impressive.
Yeah.
That means a lot.
For sure.
You know.
So, I'm just gonna pull it out more.
Well,
The audience,
uh-huh.
65%.
You gotta
Better.
be shitting me.
Better.
I'm not gonna say that is like awful, but I feel like it's awful.
That's pretty awful.
It's unfair.
Now, as a child of this era, as a current filmmaker now, as a lover of movies since the day I opened my eyes, I'm going to say this is a great fucking movie. I watched it probably 7 times this week, and I still got choked up at the end.
'Cause you want them to win.
You want them to win! From Goldberg fucking getting the guts to defend the goal, to Banks finally joining the Ducks, to Fulton finally learning how to...
To Terry learning to accept Banks.
Right?
Yeah, he's a little fucking dick.
Right?
Dude.
I mean,
Kids.
Is that his
I
name?
Terry or
No,
Banks?
Jesse. Terry's the brother.
Oh, Jesse's the one with the problem?
Jesse is the one that calls everybody a cake eater.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
that's right. You're right.
Yeah,
We'll get into that.
we're going to get into that. So, yeah, I don't know about all that. I'm going to give it a solid 91.
91.
I'm going to give it a 91.
I was going to give it a 90. So there you go.
Why you lowballing?
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna bid $1, Bob.
Oh, why are you trying to
Ah,
fuck it up
sorry.
with me?
Price is Right side flash. I gotta go. Am I?
never
I give it number
understood how
2, or is that
works.
just
Like,
you guys?
If you bid $1, how do you win? You just have to be under
Well, it's the closest or without being over.
without being
right?
over. Okay,
so
that's
if
what it is.
you
If
think everybody else is
everybody's
over, you put the
you
safe
bid
money at
$1.
$1. Yeah. Or if you think everybody else is under, you take the highest bid and add $1, which is a
Gotcha.
dick move.
It
They
really
do it and it
is.
works.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
you
those
gotta have the
assholes.
strategy.
Motherfuckers.
I gotta give it. I gotta give it a 94, and not because I believe it's worth a 94, but because NHL 94 was the greatest hockey video game that ever existed.
Nice.
So I want to make sure I tie those things together.
Bring it right back around.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Absolutely
Now,
perfect.
and this is coming from a hockey player.
Boom, 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 boom,
Sports reporter, like, please cast him.
Absolutely. The next Chick Hearn sitting in my living room.
Oh my god.
Dining room, sorry. So let me ask you this. As a hockey player,
Yeah.
how do you think the choreography went?
That's an amazing question because a lot of people are going to watch this movie like the same way they would watch a movie like Miracle or Mystery Alaska
Okay.
or Goon. Any contemporary hockey movie,
Yeah.
it's
I liked
not that
Goon.
good in terms of the hockey choreography. It's
Okay.
it's
In terms of
it's
story.
relatively accurate, but when they need to shoot details, the only way to catch that properly is to slow the whole thing down.
Sure.
Right? And then kind of get it to work, and it's okay. But the thing is, the Mighty Ducks,
They're
it's
moving pretty fast.
But regardless, for Pee Wee hockey,
Uh-huh.
it's right on the money.
Really?
It is because it's the same quality level as those films with adult players, except for the fact that the hitting is less intense because they're smaller. The stick handling is going to be of a
little
lower
bit,
quality just
yeah.
because they're younger.
They haven't-
and
Sure.
But in terms of where the players are on the ice, how they bunch up, how they spread out, how they go about scoring goals, how the goalies fail to stop what look like really easy attempts.
Sure.
That happens in Pee Wee constantly, even at the highest levels of Pee Wee in Minnesota. Because these kids are what? 5th grade?
6th grade.
Around 5th, 6th grade? Okay,
Sixth
so
grade,
you're talking about, and I don't know how it works in Minnesota at this time, maybe 11, 12-year-old kids.
Uh-huh.
They're not going to be that good.
Sure.
Nowadays, it's very different. You've got kids that are being groomed from the NHL from the time that they're
Jesus.
2, so that they get to 12, and you can see some of these phenoms on YouTube that could
They're all
skate
freaking
circles
Adam
around me
Bankses.
when they're half my size.
Because they're mighty ducks.
They're nuts, yeah. But even still, like for what they're trying to show, it works really well.
Nice.
And that was one of the things that I didn't expect going back to it after this many years, and going back to it and seeing the how realistic it felt, because there was a ceiling to what they could do cinematically. That ceiling met the ceiling that those players have in the real world,
Gotcha.
kind of perfectly.
And after I had to watch part 2. You know, I watched
I've
part
held
1
off
so many times. I was like, I miss watching part 2.
Yeah.
Part 2 is one of those sequels
I
that
was,
is really, really good
I was
and
not
lives
going
up
to
to the
say
first
it,
one.
except I'm going to say it. I don't know if it's a problem.
I would call it a theory.
I have a theory that
The sequels are always better.
I love sequels.
Yeah, this came up during the Gremlins podcast, because I
Yeah.
do listen
I
sometimes.
do. I do
But you
feel like
you see the players get better.
You see the players get
And the
better.
choreography.
There are some issues with the realism in terms of the whether any USA development team would be comprised of that many players from a single district in a single state.
Wouldn't happen.
But part of it was a branding thing, because Hendricks came and said, I want to turn this team into a brand. So we want to use the Ducks because that was a story within the hockey world that the community can get behind.
Sure.
And that makes a little bit more sense. But as far as whether the sequel is better than the original, it's fucking close.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't want to choose between one or the other, but I love
Yeah.
them both.
I feel like I watched part 2 more.
You
Yeah.
watched part 2 more this
I
week?
watched.
No,
in my life,
I didn't
in my
watch it
life,
at all.
Yeah.
I did not watch it at all this week because I was, but I don't think it's on Disney Plus either. Disney Plus.
Hell no, I just have them.
Come on, please. So, I don't know. I think part 2 is good because you get add-on of all the new players. You get the country dude. You get Kanan.
You get as kids too watching it. There was no real romantic entanglements in the original film that we could get behind, other than watching Emilio and that weird redhead that never did a film again.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe she
gotten there yet.
died, because I looked it up. I was like, "Is this really all she did? Did she die?" And she's still kicking. She went and did something else with her life. Good for her. She made a Disney movie. She got out.
Actors and actresses do that.
It doesn't
we
click.
find
They just
that
walk
out.
away.
Or those fucking Mighty Ducks residuals checks are big enough that she doesn't care anymore.
Fuck yeah.
Quack.
So,
Quack.
cha-ching, cha-ching.
Yeah.
But you get a couple different romantic subplots in the second one, and I gotta ask though, because as a kid watching, I was let down by the fact, and I know we're talking about the first film on the podcast, but we gotta get
No.
this.
Oh yeah. No. Not good.
I was let down by the fact that Charlie gets hurt to the point where he's like the assistant coach in the final game of the second
yeah.
one. What the fuck is that? I know it's all about Julie the Cat Gaffney at that point.
so
Oh, no,
but-
he doesn't get hurt. He steps down because Banks got hurt, but then he
gets better,
heals and
there's
he's
no
their
room
star
for Charlie.
player.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
takes the
Yeah.
humble road and is like,
Yeah, he takes the
the
clipboard.
cat.
yeah,
Captain.
he's like, he can have my
And
spot.
now he's the coach.
Exactly. And that's why he is the captain in part 3, because he makes those tough decisions.
Yeah, tough decisions. There are worse players than Conway, though. If you're talking about
That's
fielding a
true.
winning team, you got to put him in. And as the captain, he has to take it upon himself to talk to another player and be like, "Listen, it's a difficult decision, but we need you to sit this one out."
Yeah.
I agree.
That's the move. That's the captain's move, not to be like, "Well, give me that clipboard."
But that's not the Disney move.
Yeah, Disney.
They got to pull at your heartstrings, dude.
It doesn't pull at my heartstrings. It tests my patience.
Okay.
Okay. So
Oh, you got to sing it out. I can't sing it out.
are you ready?
Oh, I'm
Oh,
ready.
yeah, yeah.
You already refilled my drink.
That's what I was doing. It's time for the motherfucking drinking game. Yes, sir. I've been waiting.
I'm excited
Yes.
for this. Oh, I can't show you what I have planned though. I got Zenobia let me do the drinking game for this week by my request. She's like, fine,
Watch
because I
that
have to
drink.
work and I got some shit to do.
And so now what are we doing?
And so we got our drinking game. However, earlier Daniel said that he may have some additions to
You
this
guys
drinking
might have
game.
already covered everything I
Possibly.
thought of. You're
We
very
haven't
good at
discussed
this.
it, so we'll see. Now, I will say there are so many things that you could choose for this drinking game. This movie gives you so much things to pull from and so many reoccurring situations or like
iconic moments, repetitive
Exactly.
moments. Yeah.
and so it was tough to time some things out.
I'm
Welcome to your life.
I'm really excited to see how you did.
All
Let's
right,
do this.
so first things first.
Grab
you
that fucking
grab that fucking
Mighty
Mighty
Bombay.
Bombay. And you're gonna take a sip anytime the puck hits the goalpost.
Bing.
That's a good one.
Yeah, because it's a number of times.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
You're also gonna take a sip anytime Goldberg's ass is complaining. This
Okay.
bull bitches.
Yeah. Well, he's
Goldberg, you're the goalie. It's supposed to hit you.
Does his initial entry when they tie him to the net?
Oh, yeah.
He's complaining for a while. How many complaints does that count as?
Well, that scenario. Give me 5 minutes and I'll explain.
he breaks it down.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna break that
Fair
down
enough.
for you because the next one is you're gonna take a drink anytime that cake eater is said. By the way,
Ooh.
what the fuck is cake eater?
Can I?
I'm
have-
assuming that that's a diss.
It is. Please. Yeah.
I can't remember what region of America is from, but it pretty much means that you are so rich that you can have your cake and eat it too.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's what it means.
yeah.
The idea,
That's why.
the idea
That's
is,
why he's fucking mean.
so the reason that the Hawks, one of the reasons that the Hawks are a superior team is that they can afford ice time and
have-
training from an
yeah.
early age because they are very wealthy. Whereas District 5 is the inner city. If you look at the actual map that's up on Hans's wall when they go over the redistricting issue, gerrymandering. We'll get into that. Yeah, that's like the inner city. That's where these kids are from, which is why they don't have any money, which is why they're practicing on an outdoor ice
Like a
surface
pond.
on the
They
pond.
got,
Exactly. So
Covers
yeah,
the Inquirer as pads and shit.
yeah. Cake
Gotcha.
eater is just like calling somebody a rich boy, you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's a rich boy.
Born with a silver spoon.
All right,
I love cake.
Yeah.
I love cake.
Cake's cheap. I don't. Well,
That sheet cake, right? Costco.
Right.
What's up?
they got a good red velvet too.
Oh, don't even get me.
Okay, you're gonna take a sip whenever you hear the word duck.
Ooh.
Let's
Yeah.
fly together.
I will take ducks as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now I was struggling between that and quack. I went with duck
What
because you can't do both.
does
It's
the
just
duck?
so much?
Does the duck inside the name Ducksworth count towards a drink?
Yes.
I'll allow it.
Okay, good.
Do it right.
Yes.
Quack quack quack, Mr. Ducksworth.
Yeah.
What are you doing in there?
Oh, what like Scooch?
Yes.
You may have paid for this jersey,
I'll allow it.
but you didn't earn it.
Yes.
But
Thank
he
you very
told-
much, Mr. Ducksworth.
He told me he was gonna get him. He's like, "I'll get you a jersey." That
Yeah,
was like,
that was
oh
like
my
his
God,
selling point.
yeah.
Like he
That was a
raises
selling
his
point.
his
Dude,
creepy
hockey's in
eyebrow.
Minnesota, that means something.
I don't even like hockey, but if someone said that I was gonna get a free hockey jersey
Right?
with my name on the back, I'd be like, fuck yeah!
Frame it.
It has my last name on it.
That
I'm
fool
fucking
never
dead.
even put it on. Ah! Hi, puppy.
Hey, woman.
Okay, so you are. Oh, you're gonna take a drink anytime that you see or hear about Gordon Bombay's missed shot.
Ooh.
They bring that one back. I
Okay.
didn't realize how
They
many
show it
times
twice.
They
Okay.
show it and they talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay,
on
so
multiple occasions.
it's both of them. So flashbacks and
references.
I'll take audio and visual.
So like even when he's like looking at the second place fucking
Uh-huh.
thing, and he's like, I wish they would take that
Yep,
down.
when
That
they're
counts.
in the diner and he's explaining it to Charlie of what happened, all of that.
Both
When
when,
they see
both
the
when he sees the
newspaper-
newspaper clipping and when the kid sees it, because they
Okay.
show the newspaper clipping
Yep,
twice.
Peter
do.
sees it
They
too. He's
do.
like, he was
Yeah.
a hawk.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
he was hot.
Exactly.
That
I
leather
like that.
jacket. Oh my god.
That one counts.
He was a tough
He
little
was
kid, man.
Real tough little shit.
All right. So I had to add this one in. Take a sip every time that you see somebody go down on the ice. This is Pee Wee hockey.
Just
These
need a
kids fall.
Fucking funnel.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
If I plan this out right, you will finish probably 4 of these by the end of the movie.
Not bad.
Ooh, you're actually like planning out the. Oh, are you trying to make me step my game up now?
Wow.
That's fucked up. I've just been trying to get people fucked up.
I had a couple extra days time this
Okay.
week.
All right.
You know,
He watched the
if you
movie
guys,
7 times.
if we got some sponsors, you know, we can do this right.
I would do it
I mean-
extremely right.
We'd have data analysis on
Absolutely.
every film. Yeah.
Exactly. We'd have like stats of like how many times somebody falls down, how many cake
Yes.
eaters there actually are,
I'm sorry.
all that mess. It's not your fault.
I'm
You know,
sorry.
spread the word that is Lights Camera Cocktail.
Goddamn.
Okay, so are you guys ready to finish your drinks? Don't really do it, but
Oh, yes.
you are gonna finish
Trying
your
to
drink
feel it.
when Gordon gives District 5 the long and short. What is it? The long and short of it speech. Now, here's the long and short of it. I hate hockey and I don't like kids.
I don't.
Oh God.
That's your first one.
Okay.
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 You are also going to finish your drink. Like I said, give me 5 minutes. When Goldberg gets his bat mitzvah.
Oh.
Yes.
Mazel
This
tov,
is your bat
Goldberg.
mitzvah, Goldberg. Today you become a man.
Mm-hmm.
Coach!
Man,
They just let him have it. District 5!
that was pretty shitty, but okay.
Well,
There
the
was a
problem
couple
is
different times right there. I was like, should we finish our drink when Bombay gets his new pair of skates? Should we finish it when he apologizes to Charlie? No. When Goldberg gets Bob Mitzvah.
okay.
It's the right time in the movie, too.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that's the right time. I like that. Where
Yeah.
it comes.
Okay, so you are also going to finish your drink when Fulton scores his first goal.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because again, difficult timing. Because I almost went with when Adam Banks finally puts on
The
a
Ducks
Ducks
jersey.
jersey. But it's kind of anticlimactic. It's
true,
you know,
'cause
because they
it-
kind of draw that
Yeah.
out for a while, and you know how a story rises and falls. When Fulton scores his first goal, that's right when they get into the playoffs. That not when they do the Statue of Liberty. but
No,
when he
no.
actually
When he actually
scores.
takes the shot and scores. 1 in 5, coach. 1 in 5.
1 in 5.
Yes.
And lastly,
Oh,
you're
shit.
gonna.
How many finished the drinks? Oh.
Yeah, but okay, so he's got 4 finish the drinks plus sipping every time somebody touches the ice.
Whoa.
You told me
Yeah,
not.
you're gonna finish.
I
I mean,
know,
if
you told me
take
not
big
90
sips,
seconds ago that we were going to get through 4 drinks.
4 drinks.
Now that's 4 drinks plus another 2 for sipping.
Well, no, because when you're simping, you're working
6
it
drinks.
down, and then if you
Well, then you finish.
you
okay.
finish whatever's left. So it's up to you how
So you're
much
not
you simp.
necessarily finishing a full drink every
I mean-
time.
Yeah, I mean,
Just-
if you refill before you have to finish your drink,
And you
you're
know
an
when they're coming.
overachiever.
If you know when the moments are coming,
I feel
Yeah.
like roughly 6 drinks out of this.
that's fine.
Oh.
I think that's smart though. That's how you should
Because
feel.
you
at the
have
end.
4 finisher drinks. At least 2 of those are going to be sipping.
This
I've got some
is-
additions too. For,
This is
Oh,
good.
yeah.
All right. So, lastly, you're gonna finish your drink when Charlie takes his shot,
okay.
which is
Okay.
about, you know, they're about 30 minutes apart.
Now I'm
Oh, I
interested.
do that too.
Now-
I try to find them.
In true drinking game tradition, the first finisher drink comes in at about 17 minutes. So you're kind of, you know,
Sipping along.
in the
How do
mood.
you know my technique?
You're kind of like on the go already. It's like, all right, you know. And then as you get further and further along, I kind of spread them out so that you have more time in between the third and fourth drink.
Okay, I'd like to add a couple of things to this list, if I
like
may.
to add something
I'm very
too.
excited.
Please, you
Yes.
want to go first?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on.
I'm not going to peek.
All right. So
She's
I
hiding
think-
it like it's test scores.
I know,
Nice
I don't
camera
want you
can
to
see the whole
what
thing.
Right?
All right. So I think there should be simping every time everybody.
Jin's
says-
working already. We're simping.
Oh no, simping's even sober me put simping. It says simping in my notebook. Yeah.
Yeah, we've created a phrase called
That's a
the
phrase.
simp.
Okay.
Simp. So get simping.
I'll demonstrate.
Simp.
Is it? Can there be an additional?
That's a slur.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yes.
mean-
See, but I had the.
that was
He
bad.
had the
It's because you got that radio voice, though.
that makes it a simp.
I can do my NPR voice real quick. Well, I'll do it when I get to your thing, and I'll
Okay, so I think that there should be a simp with every time the whole team goes Goldberg.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
Every
there's
goal
like
was
a
good
one.
fart. There's a few others. Yeah,
You know, I didn't do
It
it.
wasn't
It wasn't me.
it wasn't me.
Don't get me started.
Could be farting in the limo.
But yeah, I think that's all I have.
I'm curious, Jason. Why did you go with goal posts and not goals scored for sips?
Because you hear it a lot. Like even if
Get
somebody's
the
not,
audio feedback. That's nice.
If this is like a drinking game where you're like with other people and like you're having a conversation here, but the movie is like to your left and you hear the goalpost like, oh,
Don't even gotta finish your.
take that drink. And
I like that.
You know, goals scored. You don't always want to drink for them because sometimes it's an evil team like the Hawks. You know, it's a reluctant. It's you know what it's
We're
like.
looking at you, Captain.
Yeah.
So I think in addition to that, let me
Yeah.
NPR us real quick.
Oh my God, yes. We're gonna be professional right now. Go.
So, welcome back to
I've never
welcome back
listened
to
to NPR.
Lights Camera Cocktails. This is they have the most amazing names. Have you heard some of the names on NPR like Chadrak Kabango?
What?
Yeah, that's a real one. Giango Meshi.
Oh my god.
I don't know. They're just like saying it's just syllables.
I feel like I would be perfect for that. Then.
Yes. Oh my God. You
is
have an
so
NPR name already. Okay. This is Daniele Imperiale de Bologna. And tonight you'll be sipping anytime you hear a win referred to as a W.
Nice.
You'll also be sipping every time Coach Riley pops his collar.
Ooh.
And you will finish your drink when the Oreo line takes ownership of its racist name.
Nice.
Fucking bitch ass.
Thank
I
you.
like that
Racist
a lot.
ass.
What is this, the Oreo line?
Yes.
Thank you. Woo, fuck that shit.
That's true. They do own that shit.
I know it's that like when you first hear it, you're like, ooh.
Oh, these motherfuckers. Because the
Ooh,
Hawks.
1993, what are
coined
you
that
doing
phrase,
to me?
Right?
In
Yeah,
1993?
they call it. What is it? What are you supposed
What is
to
this?
be?
The Oreo line?
Yeah.
And Jesse goes after him real quick.
And then they get their goal, and they're like,
I just
"The
want to say,
Oreo line."
I was called an Oreo, and I fucking hated that shit.
Were you?
Yeah,
In
man.
Riverside?
Yeah.
Yeah, this yeah.
In Riverside, you surprised?
No, now
Okay.
that I think took me a second. This gin is
I
delayed
know,
my brain.
I fucking.
Yeah.
And I took 2 shots before we started, too.
Yeah, that was not well.
I was sober.
It's true. She started out
Can't
sober.
do the podcast sober.
No, you
Like,
got to
I
start.
don't like starting.
You got to start at a
sober.
3 if you're going to get to a 10 by the end of the
She
show.
does that and I do my coffee.
He does the coffee, but usually it's like a couple drinks spread out over hours.
Yeah, normally she gets here at like 2:00, and we have time to like decompress and get ready and stuff. But this new schedule, that's all right. We're running and gunning.
All right.
So let's dive into this movie.
Head
Please.
first.
The Mighty Ducks, as you said, was directed by Mr. Stephen Herrick.
Say what?
You know who Stephen
This
Herrick
man
is?
is a
I
god.
don't.
He is a god among men. You look at his filmography, Jesus.
Hit me with your best shot. I would have.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Okay.
Okay.
That's just one.
Yeah.
Mr. Holland's Opus.
Ever heard of it?
Okay.
Richard Dreyfuss, yo.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Like in the 90s, he was the guy to go to. So in addition to the Mighty Ducks, it was Mr. Holland's Opus. He's doing MacGyver right now. He's like exec producing that shit.
The TV
But,
show?
Yeah, 101
Okay.
Dalmatians, the live action version.
With
Love
Don't
it.
tell
Glenn
mom
Close.
the babysitter's dead.
Just talked about it last week.
Touchdown.
Yes,
Loved
we
it.
just talked about this movie last week. His first
90
movie,
Next 90s one.
Critters. You love them.
I do like
them,
Critters.
Them movies.
Okay.
And one of my favorite Three Musketeers movies, the Disney 1993 version.
Is that with Depardieu?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good one. And Chris O'Connell,
Uh-huh.
who also disappeared after he made some movie about a bride or a bachelor. Or,
Oh,
what's the movie
yeah.
called?
I've never seen.
Yeah, he's like running down the street being chased by a bunch of
Like,
women
by
in
a
wedding
bunch
dresses.
of him
Yeah.
and Renee Zellweger. She stuck around.
Good for her.
Nominated. Ups to Renee for
Congrats,
being nominated for Judy.
Saw in theaters. Excellent performance.
Oh.
I
right.
watched most of it. I have yet to finish it.
I am on it, girl.
Get to that end. Last scene is crushing.
Oh,
I
I'm
will.
sure it's gonna
I'm,
be.
I
Oh,
have to finish it.
I-
I know I will.
I'm waiting for Ashley.
Yeah.
I know it's gonna be heartbreaking. But I mean, the first scene. Holy shit! That
Stop
set
spoiling
design,
it
yo.
for me.
All I'm saying is the set design.
You're just making me jelly that I haven't seen it yet.
Which is a kind of spoiling for her.
Yes.
I'm enticing
You
you.
get me.
I'm just
I
I'm
understand.
just enticing you into making it a priority.
I know.
Into my web.
My coworkers convinced me to watch the fucking Circle on Netflix, the
I don't know about
reality
all that.
show. I don't know.
You don't need that.
I got new coworkers. I gotta like.
Yeah, you
know,
gotta get in the water cooler.
Yeah.
Stephen
you.
Herrick is one of those guys that I don't know why he hasn't made movies recently. Like he is
Because
exec
he's
producing and he's directing TV.
Outlandishly
a lot.
wealthy.
Yeah, he
Because-
does what he wants
Yeah.
now.
Because a TV show seems like.
He
the
realized
right
that
way
you
to
can make a
do
lot
it.
more from the producer side, probably.
I spent a week with a group of people, and I get a fat check, and then I can spend another
Keep
couple
getting
months.
checks.
Yeah, keep
Yeah.
getting checks another month.
I think he still
Be
likes it
chilling.
though. He does guest direct a lot. So he's guest directed like Hawaii Five-0 and MacGyver. He's done. I mean, he's the exec producer, but he's also directed a number of episodes as well.
All right.
But yeah, that is our director, Mr. Stephen Herrick. You want to add a little something to him?
I mean, you ran through the filmography. It's at the top of the list for me is Bill and Ted's, but Don't Tell Mom. Don't Tell Mom has such a because my sister was into fashion design from age 5. She went to FIT's pre-college program in high school. Went there after high school. Went right into the fashion industry. Is still in the fashion industry. Is a phenomenal designer. And watched that movie on repeat almost as much as I watched Speed, which we talked about earlier.
Oh my god! One, I need your sister's like Instagram.
You'd love her
Facebook,
Instagram. It's
Twitter,
delightful.
whatever. And then 2, I need you to have her come on, and we will Don't Tell Mama Babysitter.
She'd be a fucking blast on this
And I
podcast for
don't-
that movie.
I don't know
Oh my
what kind
God.
of drink we'd make. It's called like a dead.
There's got to be
dead
something in there. You'd
babysitter.
call it. What were the running of the whats? When the guy takes her on the date and they look at the
Grunion run.
The Grunions, yeah.
The Grunion
Yeah,
run.
so yeah, you mix some like Grunion themed drink, put some
There you
salt
go.
water in there.
We can do that.
What was the name of the place he worked at? I can't fucking.
Oh, it was like a chicken joint.
Chicken
Nope.
joint.
It was a hot dog place.
Hot dogs.
It
Ugh.
You wear the little bow tie
and the hat, the
fucking
paper hat.
Mr. Egg put on a happy face.
Does she live out
Krusty?
here? Where she
No,
live?
she's in New Jersey, where I'm from.
I don't know why I want to say Krusty Burger.
I need you to get her to come out here in the summertime for 90s month.
I'll get it to. I'm trying to get her a job when Dead Boy takes off. I'm gonna try to get her a job on wardrobe somewhere because she loves fashion history. Like she
Okay.
just like digs into fashion history. That's her whole. That's like
We
her
needed her
wheelhouse.
for fucking Titanic, bitch.
Oh my god, she
I
would have
need-
spent hours with
I
that.
need you to drop her name right now
That
so
was
the world
a
knows what we're
hour-
talking
Her
to.
name.
3-hour
Her name is
podcast.
Christina Rose Imperial,
Ooh, okay,
Pretty
so
alley.
what's her fashion line?
and she works for other companies right now.
Oh,
She doesn't
oh,
have her own
okay,
thing yet.
okay.
She's not that much older than I am. She's working her way towards that right now.
Okay,
But she's worked for a handful of companies out of New York City right now. She's in Manhattan, and her Instagram is at Crybaby430, spelled CRI. I'm 80% sure that's
Whoa.
correct.
Nice.
Okay, is this
No,
like a-
that's totally
Is this a
wrong.
reference to the Johnny Depp movie?
My,
Oh yeah.
my
Nice.
My question is this like her personal or is this her like fashion?
She doesn't have a fashion. It's all in one right now.
Okay, well
you
then
go.
I don't want to put her personal
like that.
Instagram out
Well,
there.
then have him edit it out. She wants the followers. What are we talking?
I'll do it. I'm not gonna do it.
No, please cut it out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't
No,
want-
no. That's not it actually. So people can go look for that, and it's
Yeah,
not
go
going to
look
be
for
her.
Crybaby
Suckers.
97.
I just looked it up. She changed it.
Good.
Um,
Because if it was like
You
her,
can just show it to her like
I have-
this, and the cameras won't see it.
I have more followers than she does.
Ooh, burn.
Suck it, sis.
Okay.
All right, let's dive into this cast, and we're gonna start with our villain because he's such an ass.
Oh, he's the best.
He's the best ass,
So good.
Mr. Lane Smith,
Coach Riley.
Coach Riley.
I'm kinda. I don't know.
This is
I'm really scared to say what I'm about to say right now.
Uh oh.
But I kind of like him as like I would want him as a coach.
Really?
Yeah.
Because he's gonna get you there.
Yeah.
But he's gonna turn you into something. Like there's a
I disagree.
reason Gordon Bombay is a lawyer.
I disagree because he is a coach.
Okay.
He has I've had many coaches from
Okay.
kindergarten to fucking college, and they have made impacts on my life.
Okay.
But nothing as drastic as turning me into a fucking dick. My parents are the ones who are going to make me into a dick if I'm going to be a dick.
Sure.
Not this dude who I see a couple of forever. If anything, he's going to get me to the level where when I get to college, I'm about to fucking blow the fuck up.
Now, keep in mind, now you got to think about your formative years. And in Gordon Bombay's situation, his father died.
True.
The same way that Charlie is falling in love with Gordon Bombay as his coach and as his father figure, that is the eyes that Gordon Bombay had for Coach Riley because that was his father figure.
I get that.
And therefore, that's why he became who he was.
I get that.
I
But
gotta
have
say,
two parents, so I'm going to be fine.
you look at what we meet 3 Hawks other than Bombay throughout the course of the film. You meet Adam Banks, Goon number 1 and Goon number 2. Who the fuck knows their names?
They're not on the list of people we're
they're
talking
not.
about.
When
No offense,
Banks
guys.
when Banks goes through what he goes through, gets traded essentially in the middle of the season, has to leave all his friends behind, has to start with a new team that doesn't want to accept him.
And they got to suck.
What does he say?
I
You know
just
what he
want to
says?
play hockey.
I just want to play hockey.
Yeah, he
That's
does.
a beautiful. He's got a dirtbag of a father, and
Yeah.
Coach Riley is his coach, and that's how he comes through. Now, Goon number 1, the guy that takes Banks out.
Yep.
Obviously,
Very much.
it's a
in
cheap
line
shot.
To...
But at the end of the day, all he does is shove him behind. It's not even a cross check. You look at where his hands are on the stick. It's actually a bad call by the referee. He shoves him from behind when he's on a breakaway. You do what you can. You hook people down. You trip people on a breakaway because you give your goaltender an opportunity to reorient himself and have a better chance to stop a penalty shot after a stoppage of play than they might stopping a breakaway in the middle of play when they might have been kind of sitting back, watching from a distance and they're not quite set. Gives the goalie a chance to get set. It is a completely normal strategy to take a penalty to save a goal. That is like hockey 101 stuff.
See,
You
I
just
don't
lost
know-
half
It's
our audience.
not
but
it's
I'm with
not
you.
a
I'm with
bad
you.
penalty. The problem is Banks goes down.
Yep.
And I hate to say it, doesn't protect himself
Yeah.
going into the goal.
No.
He lets that goal take out his shoulder.
That's true.
And that's a peewee thing because he hasn't learned how to take a hit completely yet.
That's
They
what I
don't
always
start. They
thought.
don't start hitting usually until about that year or the year before. So they've only been playing full contact for about a year. So he's still learning that part of the game, and that unfortunately is going to result in some injuries. It's going to result in some hard lessons for these kids. And now, you could say that the kid's intent was to hurt Banks because
Yeah.
Riley told him to hurt Banks, and
What
he went
did
out
you
there
do?
looking.
My job.
Exactly, he went out there looking for an opportunity to hurt Banks, and he took it. Now, if it was a two-handed slash across Banks's arm
Yeah, like
that
it is
broke
in
his
part
wrist
2.
in D2,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
crystal
that
clear,
one was fucking
right?
And I always thought
And
that
that's
all the
after the
fighting
play.
So
was never
what do
that
we have?
fucking-
We have 4 Hawks total. We have Bombay, Banks, and the 2 goons. Who says, what did you do? Is goon number 2.
Yeah.
Turns to his friend, thinks he went too far, right? So how bad an influence is Coach Riley if Bombay turns out okay, Banks turns out great,
doesn't turn out
and
okay,
Goon
though.
turns, but he does, because he still does have, like...
He's
you
got
could-
a huge winning mentality, which is fine.
He does, but look, you could
he's
say
like
that his
all-
positive
that's all that
influences...
matters to him, and he's developed this alcoholism, and he hasn't formed any friendships or any relationships.
But I don't
since
think that
childhood.
To put that
would-
all at Coach Riley's feet,
I'm
though,
not
I think
saying
is
that
a
it's
putting
little
all of it,
unfair.
I
but
would
it's
put
during
that
his
on
formative
being
years.
a child
And Coach
of
Riley
a single
hasn't
parent.
finished with these kids yet.
Well, tell me about Bombay's tactics. Bombay's tactics for winning, what are they? Even after he reforms. What
After
are
he
they?
reforms, his tactics for winning is to use team play to make sure that winning comes second to sportsmanship and to enjoy the process of the game.
Now talk to me about the plays that they run.
I can't. I'm not a hockey player.
Okay. Tammy doing a fucking
They're gimmick plays.
They're gimmick
They're
plays,
gimmick
right?
plays, yeah.
That toe the line. They are a modification of the the dive taking that happens at the midpoint of the film. He finds a way to do something similar within that, where they're finding things that aren't against the rules because they enter into a discretionary territory on the part of the referees, but that create time and space for their players to attack offensively.
Gotcha.
Tammy spinning around like that is a dangerous play. She's
Yeah,
moving at a rate of speed.
would that be considered
where
high
if
sticking?
anybody, it's at her waist level, but it could theoretically be considered slashing because of its rate of momentum. Again, it's discretionary on the part of the referees. But this gets into an issue where what she's doing isn't illegal. But in 2011, 2012, Sean Avery of the New York Rangers went in front of Martin Brodeur and started. Normally, if you want to screen a goaltender, you get in front of him, but you put your back to him. So I'd have the goalie behind me, and I'd stand in front of him, and I try to make it so that I'm standing in front of him so he can't see where the puck is.
Gotcha.
Avery turned around and faced Martin Brodeur and started waving his arms, shaking his stick.
Oh, yeah.
Not against the rules.
Really?
But right in line with the Gordon Bombay playbook, as far as I'm concerned. And the next year, the NHL implemented a new rule. It had a number, but everybody called it the Avery rule.
Nice.
Which basically said you can't do that shit.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Pee Wee Hockey, the year after the Ducks won, took the play that Tammy ran and a number of other things that they employed and said, you can't do this shit.
No.
It's not
safe,
violently
it's not
illegal,
hockey,
but it's not hockey.
Yeah.
And, so I'm saying...
This isn't figure skating. We play hockey here.
So that even after he reformed, he's still pushing the boundaries of what is acceptable to the sport,
Okay.
For the sake of winning, and for the sake of fun. But it's more fun when you win.
I'm not going to say it's not more fun when you win. But
gonna deny
it
that.
does come secondary.
It does. It does.
It is more important.
But it's not there.
It's not there. Like, of course, everybody wants to win. You're supposed to play your best. You're supposed... Competition is fun if it's taught correctly. But it is more important that you leave that game a better person.
I agree,
If
and I'm not
winning
saying
makes
this
you
to
a
throw.
worse person, then it's not worth the win.
I'm not saying this to throw Bombay's tactics under the bus or necessarily say that they're wrong. I'm just doing it to make a more clear comparison between him and Coach Riley, who, for all the Hawks that we meet,
That's right. That's who we were talking about.
all the Hawks that we meet, there's only one who is truly evil to his core, and it's the guy that goes out with intent to hurt Banks and more or less achieves it without actually doing something terribly violent that just results in a violent play. But
there's subtle things here and there as well, though. Like, he has no remorse for Banks once he gets hurt.
That's
like,
true.
As soon as you come,
That's
like
true.
as soon as Gordon goes back to Riley and he's talking to his team and he does.
That's why you
his
take a drink, 'cause he flips the
he's like,
collar.
all right, we're gonna get that one back. Don't worry about it. They're gonna score like that. We're gonna make them pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's perfectly okay with hurting another kid.
yeah,
And
which
he
which
looks
is
at
bad.
Bombay.
But
He's like, "You got something to say to me, Bombay?"
And your own kid at that.
yeah, his own former player.
Yeah.
Still, though, as a coach of children, in terms of like what it takes to win in Minnesota, what it means to win at hockey in Minnesota, the fact that for a lot of these kids, even though they are wealthy, that what else are they going to do with their lives? They're good at hockey. He
Mall of
can
America,
he
yo.
can push them to the next level. And how none of the Hawks from that team make it to the U.S. development program for the Goodwill Games makes no sense to me in D2. Just
I
saying.
mean,
No
like
sense.
you
Because they
said
bring the
earlier,
players
it's
back.
a-
They're in the first scene of the film when they're skating through the park. Yeah,
That's
they're
true.
dicks. And the one blonde guy looks a lot like Steven Stamkos. If you know who Steven Stamkos is, he's the center for the Tampa Bay Lightning. And I'm curious as to whether it was him. But I don't know.
I don't know. So Lane
Wait.
Smith. This is one of the only.
Say the name one more time.
Steven Stamkos.
Okay, continue.
Wait, do you know him?
Just continue.
Oh, she's just gonna do some research. So Lane Smith, this is the only movie that I know of where he plays like an absolute villain. Because most of the movies, I like him
He's soft. He's like pleasantly soft.
to a degree. No, I will say like if you don't know, he is the dad in Son-in-Law. He's
I was
also
about to say, you know what I love him in? Fucking son-in-law. Okay.
my cousin Vinny. My dude is the prosecuting attorney.
Oh my god.
Yeah, in that one, he's a little, he's Gordon Bombay as a lawyer.
Yeah.
He wants that win, but he doesn't realize that Joe Pesci is a better lawyer. He's than he realizes.
Has the street smarts.
Exactly. But like, I love him in Son-in-Law. He is a farmer. He wants to protect his daughter. He's all about that hard work, and we get up at sunrise and this, that, and the other.
But he's a good
But
ass
he's
man.
closed-minded, and then over the course of the
Loves
movie,
his
he
dad.
opens up and takes a turn, and all of a sudden, Pauly Shore is my new son-in-law over here.
He made him fucking kill the
Garb up.
turkey, man. That was so mean.
Does he really kill it though? No, he doesn't
He
kill it.
doesn't kill it.
He
He-
does his
He
stupid
goes,
Pauly Shore.
"Oh!"
And
then
the
like
bird
dies.
like falls over. Then they're in the kitchen plucking him, and the bird wakes up.
Oh my god, that's even worse.
Oh my god, you never seen Father Son-in-Law?
It's been, I mean, maybe when I was 10 or 11 or something like that.
Fucking
But
love it.
It's a good
that's
ass
fucked
movie.
up. They
Steven
plucked a
Tyler
live
did.
turkey.
Well, they thought it was dead.
Well, they
'cause
thought it was dead.
Still, but the thing
They
is,
thought
like,
it keeled over.
yeah, that.
And then as soon as they plucked the first feathers, it
Oh, the
starts running-
first feather.
Yeah.
Okay. I
it
thought
starts
maybe it was
running around the
unconscious.
kitchen.
They got like half the feathers off, and then the thing wakes up and is like,
No, they
No, it was
pluck
the
the first
first
feathers,
feathers.
and the bird wakes up and freaks everybody
That's
out.
fine.
in the
starts
kitchen.
running
fine.
around the kitchen.
because yeah, you don't want to. Feathers are important to a turkey.
Sure.
You don't want to just take half of them away and send them back into the wild, get
Now-
ostracized.
But he does. I feel like
This
he
was
is a good
for
villain.
Thanksgiving, but sadly, Mr. Lane Smith did pass away in 2005.
No.
was a while ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
wait. Like, how long has he been in the game? Like, when did he start this?
Acting?
Yeah, I
Oh,
only
he's-
know him in like his middle age.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, my man has 111 credits. He's been acting
Listed.
for many, many years. I would say his first role was in 1966.
Get it, my man.
So he
Pre-moon
had
landing.
a pretty much 40-year career,
Fucking killing
Yeah.
it.
you know, and he
Okay.
acted all the way up until 2003. So it wasn't until those last couple of years that he didn't do anything else.
He's good. And you'll forever be in awesome 90 movies.
Yeah,
Well,
and
good.
it looks like they
At least 3 of them.
did something for him in 2012 called Well Received: The Death of an Artist. So I don't know if that's a documentary or a biography of some sort. But yeah. Yeah, I always liked him.
are we gonna get to Pacey?
He is second to last.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the one that you want the most is gonna be the.
You gotta earn
closest-
it.
Yeah,
You gotta earn it. So,
Can I give you a fun fact?
sure.
Fun fact. All right, so the original story was much darker than what the fuck we get to see now. It's kind of like a mixture of Bad News Bears, but like
Okay.
on another level. So before Disney bought it, it was about an ex-NFL player who was an alcoholic.
Gordon Bombay, motherfucker.
Yes.
Yes.
And he wanted revenge on his old coach, so he coaches the rival team.
Really?
So it was more dealing with the adult matters of that kind of story than dealing with the kids.
Okay.
I feel like it was probably like a Bad Santa fucking...
How many fucking Hollywood films start out that dark? I feel like I hear this a lot. There's these super dark films that come out and they either recast or rewrite or both to kind of.
I mean, you know
lighten
how
We
it
long-
up.
talked about that in Gremlins, how they were cut the mom's
Yeah,
head off.
that's
throw it
right.
Down the stairs.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
We
dark
talked
as
about
shit.
it in Beetlejuice. He was supposed to like rape and kill Lydia and her family.
Apparently,
like it was like way darker than the
Groundhog Day.
Groundhog
was
Day.
the original script was like a deep philosophical dive into deathlessness. That like humorous montage where he keeps killing himself is supposed to be the Dark Night of the Soul part of the film where he begins to lose his mind.
I always
And then
think
they-
it's a dark movie anyway.
But
Like,
then
it's pretty
it is
dark.
pretty dark still.
It's pretty dark.
But it was supposed to be a lot worse.
Oh my god.
It's supposed to be like Bergman-esque.
Shit. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. The more we do the show, the more I find out like the story was
Shit,
not
it
supposed to be
starts
the
out-
way.
So write a dark script and let somebody bastardize it,
Make
and
it
you'll
lighter.
You'll end up with a great Disney movie.
Hey,
That's
they
the
pay me.
plan.
They pay me.
Well, moving on to Mr. Hans, Josh Ackland. Joss, Joss Ackland. My dude was
Where's he
born
from?
in 1928.
Is he
Classic.
from not here?
No, he's from London.
That's what I thought. You sound like you're from
I
London.
thought he was Scandinavian vaguely.
Yeah,
He
he's
has
got
a
a little
weird-
like.
Well, I mean, that's what he tells Bombay. He
Is
says,
it? Okay.
He says something. He does the joke with the skate where he pretends to cut himself, and
Mm-hmm.
Bombay says, "You're so morbid, Hans," and his response is, "Well, I'm Scandinavian."
Yeah. Well, you know why he can do that?
I don't.
Because he attended the London Central School of Speech and Drama.
There you go.
That's
Dude,
where I need to go
You know,
because I can't
how,
get my
how
fucking
many
speech
roles
down.
have you lost to British actors?
Him specifically too.
Are you talking about Mighty Ducks and
Yeah,
T2?
I was supposed to play a young Hans, which is a
Extremely
phenomenal watch company, Young Hans. But we're gonna move on.
Well, it's because they're so well trained in dialect and speech.
That's what I want to be able to have awesome dialect.
Right.
I mean, get a few cocktails in me, and I can goof around and play some accents here and
You
there.
don't even have to get a few into him. He will fucking
Yeah, it's just.
bust out. He answers the phone in different fucking.
Did Hans pass before the second film?
I believe he did.
Because
Yeah.
they have Jan or
Yeah.
something, a Franz instead of Hans. It's supposed to be his brother, and they make some reference to the fact that he went back to the homeland at the top of the film.
I never fucking noticed that. He looked like the same motherfucker.
Different dude.
No, different guy.
Totally
Yeah.
different dude.
They
Yeah.
talk about
shit.
that because
Hans has a square jaw
Mother
and
likes
Franz
him
has
better.
a pointy jaw,
I don't
a pointy chin.
want to sound racist, but they look identical. I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
We literally just watched D2 right after fucking the first one, and I still was like, same dude. Oh yeah, that's Hans, dude.
I feel like I could show you a picture of Bill Clinton right now, and you'd be like, "Yo, is that Hans?"
I'm gonna give you guys a fun
He's still
fact.
alive.
Check this out. He's still alive.
Oh,
Well, who is?
he's-
Hans.
Hans is still
Joss.
alive.
Joss Ackland is still alive.
Then why wasn't he in
73
part
when that
two?
movie was made, right?
He was born in 1928, so February 29th, he is coming up on his
90.
91st,
90 math
92nd?
birthday.
90 math birthday, exactly. That fast math.
Holy
Not after 2 gins.
Shit. If
Still
I
alive
made
and
it
well.
if I made it to 100, I'm drinking.
Maybe he wasn't
every
available.
day.
Right.
Not
Every day
sure.
I'm having a drink. Okay, tell me what he's been in. Tell me something else that is not this.
Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, yo.
Who?
Oh shit! Yeah.
He's in Bill and Ted's
Who does he
Bogus
play?
Journey. He plays a character by the name of. I already moved on. What do you want from me?
I'm sorry, you did a very shallow dive. And I
Okay,
thought you
my
were
dude
gonna
has
go-
been in 200 movies.
Lethal Weapon 2.
Lethal Weapon
See
2.
how you gonna
He
skip
plays
over
Arjun.
that?
I'm sorry. We're already, I'm trying to keep the
Okay,
ball
I'm
moving.
sorry. I'm sorry.
He played a character named Denomalus.
Yeah, Denomalus.
Denomalus?
Denomalus.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't remember who that was.
I don't either.
Denomalus. You don't know
Denomalus.
Denomalus?
Is that
I'm
No.
She's
so
bullshit.
bullshitting.
So
She's
this
full of
is-
shit.
Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey?
The
not
again,
Excellent-
talking
my
about sequels,
gosh.
the
No.
superior film.
Yeah.
I got a copy of Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey for free with a delivery pizza from Pizza Hut
Nice.
when I was like 15 or something like that. They were just giving them away with the pizzas.
You're shit.
This is like
Yeah.
the best
It
thing
was-
ever.
so
It was.
good.
We watched it. We watched
got
it
a
and ate the
pizza
pizza. It was a
and-
fucking party. It was so good. Yeah, that's a sequel.
Yeah.
Jesus H, that's a
They're
sequel.
getting ready
I,
for the
think, I
third
have
one.
a theory. Yes, they are.
They're filming the third one. I'm very
I
excited.
have a theory about sequels. I think that it's coming to fruition.
Okay. So also, The Hunt for Red October, he was Andrei Lizenko.
Okay, so he did other shit besides this. Okay.
Absolutely. He acted all the way
Don't
up
get upset
until-
now. You were complaining about the shallow dive.
2014.
Now we're getting into the weeds,
No,
and you're like,
no.
I'm done with this guy.
No, I'm just trying to take a deeper, shallow dive.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, let's dive into the Ducks.
Yeah.
Quack, 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 quack. Okay, I kind of want a jersey, but only the old school jersey.
The green, the original green.
I want to
All right. When you quacked, it made me feel like I was supposed to chug.
Do you want to know?
I've been out for a minute. I was gonna say, I don't know.
All right. Then yeah,
Oh,
I
I'm
guess
sorry.
we're going
Are
again.
you good?
I'm ready.
Oh, okay.
We're going again. Now that we're on the Ducks,
All right.
we're going to talk about Mr. J.D. Daniels. Plays Peter. So if you guys don't know, Peter is the one with the leather jacket. That's
Little tough
always
guy.
Yeah, exactly. He's a little tough Italian kid. He's the one that says, "What's that supposed to be? A pep talk?"
Yep.
And he's the one that like
50
walks
bucks.
out. $50 for that
50 bucks
jersey.
for a brand new fucking OG Ducks jersey.
I'd pay $50 for that jersey.
Now,
if I wore
weirdly,
jerseys.
this is the Conway jersey with the Captain C on it. You can get it at jerseychamp.com.
There you go.
Who's going to start sponsoring the show, I assume, after this
Thank
episode.
you.
Right after this.
Name drop that shit.
So JD is very well trained. He has done a number of things, mostly in the voiceover world. He does a lot of animation. He's done Gargoyles. He did a movie called The Pickle and The Swan Princess. Like, he became a singer. He was nominated or did Les Miserables on Broadway.
Ooh.
And he won an award.
And Antoinette
before-
Perry?
He did not. It's not a Tony Award. No. What was it called? It was
So the ears breathe a little.
the LA Drama Critics Circle Award. As young Charlie in Conversations with My Father. And then he went to Columbia University where he studied film. And strangely, see, Jen is kicking in. I downed that shit and it's fucking with me now. But I haven't seen anything from him in recent years. So I don't know if he's just like in a development stage or not. But he seems to have done a number of things and then stopped. So his last project was in 2009.
Okay.
But it looked like he was going into directing. I assumed that he wanted to be a director. But I don't know, maybe life got in the way in 2009.
Take 10 years to get a first film off the ground, so
That's
it
very
could be
true.
coming out, you know.
I'm 6 years in myself, so
Yeah.
yeah, that's very, very true. Wow, I drank a lot on that last one.
More's coming.
All right, well
you
then,
asked for it, bitches.
what do you guys say we talk about Mr. Guy Germain?
Please.
So, I was this close.
I love
Oh
Guy.
wait, that's part 2.
Yeah.
That is
I like
part
Guy.
two.
And his name, I don't know if that was like a change of some sort, but it's written like Guy. It's Gui.
Yeah, that's a Canadian thing.
Okay.
Yeah, there are 1,000 hockey players in Canadian hockey history named Guy, spelled G-U-I.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, he did a number of things. He's in all 3 Mighty Ducks. Not all the Ducks lasted through all 3 movies.
True.
Guy Germain is one of them. His real name, I don't even think I said it, was Garrett Ratliff Henson.
Good name.
That's a good name, right?
Garrett Ratliff?
His name is Garrett Ratliff Henson.
like Ratcliffe
See?
without the
That
C.
fucking gin is fucking with me.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Well, that's the thing. You want to say Ratcliffe, but you can't.
You
because
had
it's
to
Ratliff.
quack, didn't you?
Quack. Quack.
I'm not downing
do it
this one,
again.
too.
I didn't do anything except
Hmm.
make it.
My dude is an LA native, born in Burbank, California. You lived in
Classic.
Burbank for a
I
while.
love Burbank. I'd love to get back there.
Burbank's nice. You had a nice place,
I
dude.
did have a
Swimming
nice place.
pool, outdoor patio.
Corner
stars.
property and dirt cheap. I gotta say, that we were paying per month what you get a good 1 bedroom for now, and that was a 3-bedroom, big living area.
Okay.
Kitchen was a little small, but I could live with that.
Yeah.
But I don't cook. So
I need a dishwasher. That's what I need. Sorry, keep going.
I don't do dishwashers.
I need a
But
dishwasher.
my dude has been acting. His last project was in 2013, but it doesn't mean that he's done necessarily. He was really big in the 90s. He was in Arachnophobia. Did you guys see that one? He
Oh, God,
was the doctor's son. So
Okay.
He played Tommy Jennings. I don't remember what the doctor's name was. I just
Vaguely
remember
familiar.
the resident doctor in the town gets bit by the spider, and then his wife's like, "What do you want me to do?" He's like, "Call Jennings. Call him. Get him over here. I'm dying." In 2004, he was in The Butterfly Effect. That was an interesting movie.
Hated
his
it.
face
Fucked
again?
with me a little
Hated
bit.
it. I know we don't
Handsome
talk about
dude,
movies we
started
hate
out
here.
modeling and doing commercials and stuff.
Have you seen the director's cut of The Butterfly Effect?
No.
Ooh.
Okay, so oftentimes you think about director's cuts as these things where you get to kind of go a little deeper into maybe a couple characters and see oftentimes an ending that is superior to the ending, oftentimes superior to the ending that hit theaters. Usually the directors have a vision. It takes the film from its inception all the way to the end. And if that ending is messed with by studios, it often dilutes the film, the quality of the film, the message of the film.
Changes the story. I hate that.
The Butterfly Effect is a little different. They
I feel like I might have seen it. Tell me.
You never seen Butterfly Effect?
No, the alternate ending.
essentially you go inside Ashton Kutcher's character's mother's womb as he intentionally hangs himself with his own umbilical cord.
Oh shit!
Awful. That is the equivalent of that is the Butterfly Effect logic equivalent of it was all a dream. I'm sorry. That's that character waking up and it was all a dream.
That's too much.
Strangling himself with the umbilical cord.
Well, on a lighter note, Garrett was also in Casper.
Oh,
He played
sure was.
Vic.
ooh, Devin Sawa. What a hunk.
How about that, right?
Told you I was a good dancer.
He was. Oh.
So he plays Vic in that one. And he was also in Doogie Howser, MD. You guys remember that show?
Fuck yeah.
Neil Patrick Harris, yo.
Who?
He played a character named Will. He did a couple of spots. And he was in Radio Flyer.
That's a dark movie.
That's a dark
Elijah
movie.
Wood.
Good
That is
movie.
a
Elijah
dark,
Wood.
sad
Absolutely.
movie.
I watched that movie when I was like
I was so young.
8 years old.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So young.
I thought it was about
I
wagons.
still don't understand the thing with the buffalo.
Ooh.
I thought it was just about
The
a
buffalo
kid who
talks.
loved his wagon.
But
That
the
was
buffalo,
it.
what do you see a close up of on the buffalo? Though you get like real close on his eyes,
His eye, right?
and it's and one of the things. So you never see the abusive father,
Uh-huh.
and
No,
part
you
of that,
only see like shadows or his
yeah,
hand.
part
and
of
stuff
that
like
has to do with the fact that the abuse to the community outside of the house and to the mother and to even to the brother to some extent is invisible, and that Timothy from Jurassic Park is being abused in a way that makes him feel isolated and alone and unseen, but the buffalo sees him.
I love how you say Timothy from Jurassic
Jurassic
Park.
Park.
You know what he was in recently?
Oh, I did see him in something recently. Tell me what it
We
was.
just talked about this, didn't we?
Yep.
What is it?
Rhapsody.
Yes,
That's right. That's
yes!
right. That's right.
Good for him.
Bravo.
Killing
that
it to
kid
this
was,
day.
He was good when he was a baby. Mm-hmm. Can I give you a fun fact?
Yes, you can.
Who were we just talking about?
No,
Timothy
Tim,
from
no.
Jurassic Park.
No, in the movie.
Garrett Ratliff. Sorry, Garrett Ratliff Henson. I got it out that time.
Do you know that his brother was in this movie?
His brother? Who's his brother?
He is Eldon.
Eldon Ratliff. Did he have the same middle
Ratliff?
name? Is it a hyphenated last name or is that his middle name?
No, that's his middle name.
I think it might be.
It's not hyphenated.
Well, okay, yeah, you're right. Because Henson is the last name.
Yeah.
And so they fucking both auditioned for this and both got it.
Okay.
And Eldon had to dye his hair and change his name in order for the audition in order to.
So he could play a different character.
Oh, are they twinsies?
Well, no, they're not twins.
They just look too much alike.
Too much alike, I guess. And so they're like, he's like, all right, I'm going brown. You're staying your little dirty blonde, and we're gonna change up the names so that they don't be like, oh, brothers. We don't need brothers. Kinda like
that's
shit.
a good tactic. At the same time, this is Minnesota. How many blonde-haired, blue-eyed kids are in this movie?
To be honest with you, I don't know what Minnesota look like.
It's very
Most
white.
of the Aryan children are on the Hawks.
This is true. This is true.
That
So
is
they
true.
don't
It's a little
they don't get a
devil child.
lot of screen time.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Fuck those kids.
Well, let's move on to Mr. Vincent LaRusso.
Yes.
Adam motherfucking Banks. Why do we move on to Adam Banks so quickly? Because he's not worked on many movies afterwards. I don't know why. I liked him.
I liked him
I
too.
thought he was good.
I thought he aged into the
Played a
characters
good
well.
cake eater.
Yeah.
And if that's really him, I don't know if it was really him on the ice or not. Good fucking hockey player.
Hard to say.
Can I give you a fun fact about that?
I knew you would.
You didn't know.
Fun
You don't know
fact.
shit.
I knew you would.
All I
Whenever you
know-
get quiet, you got a fun fact.
All I know is a lot of the kids claimed that they could play hockey and skate, and the majority of them couldn't. So they had to go through a whole
Isn't
fucking
that
shit.
That
filmmaking?
showed.
Yeah.
Actors lie to get the part.
Yeah, of course.
I
And if
did
you're
a
good enough
fucking
liar-
commercial where the breakdown specifically said need real soccer players. Am I a real soccer player? No.
You're real and you play soccer.
I can play soccer.
I can kick a ball.
I can play
I
soccer
can dribble a ball.
pretty well. I would say I'm an intermediate soccer player.
I could stop a ball. I feel like I could
Yeah.
do the basics.
Check this out. I got the fucking part
You sure did.
of the friend. Tell me why there wasn't a single person on that field that could actually play soccer.
Because we liars, y'all. Actors, if we could lie good enough to
It's not even
convince you-
us, it's our agents that
Yeah.
do it.
Well, that's the thing. A buddy of mine got a call
they
from
know you
his
don't need to.
from his manager, and she was like, "Can you ride a mechanical bull?" And he
I
was
have.
like, "Pfft, "Sure." And she said, "No, can you ride it like you're surfing on it?"
Oh,
he was
fuck
like,
no. Who does that?
I could try." And she was like, "Okay, can you
putting
get
you
me
in for this.
No, she said, "Can you get me video of you doing it?"
Yeah, what
And he
the
was like,
fuck?
"No, I cannot."
Where am I going to find a
Where the
mechanical bull
fuck?
at
Exactly.
this
Yeah.
time?
Like,
Well,
you want all these
Saddle Ranch
skills
Bar on
clips.
Sunset. They have it.
I'm sorry, you're right.
24/7. You can go there and get a martini glass full of cotton candy and ride the bull.
This is a good point. But all of
out.
that for a maybe audition.
Next Roadhouse.
Yeah, just to maybe get in the room.
Exactly. And then the next day, there's another phone call for another
Exactly,
skill that
for
you
some other
don't
thing.
possess.
Can you
So this
surf on
can
your
be
hands?
a double-edged
Yeah.
sword very quickly. Mm-hmm. You go out for a swimming audition. They want professional swimmers. I damn near drowned when I had to audition at Santa Monica College for an Olympics commercial. Now, I've also lost relationships with casting directors because my agent put me in for shit that I did not possess the skill for. Mm-hmm. Like, I know how to jump rope as a boxer.
Yeah.
You know, I can skip.
You can't double dutch.
I can't double dutch, exactly.
I know-
And
I know
he
you
didn't
can't.
fucking tell me that.
That's what
and
they
that's
wanted?
exactly what I went in for. And I lost one of the best commercial casting directors in town. I have not been invited back since.
It's a crime.
Danielle Eskenazi, if you're seeing this, it was not my fault.
Or listening.
If you are, I can double dutch. Gotcha, boo.
That project's long.
I'm
since
just
passed.
saying. I'm just throwing that
That's
out
the
there.
thing. It's time to bring it back. Everything
But
in
like,
this town's
she
a
was
remake.
so mad, dude. She was so mad, and rightfully so, because
Yeah, for
I
sure.
wasn't the only one that was invited to audition that couldn't double dutch.
I mean,
She had very few options for double dutch
yeah,
people.
If you put that you need double dutch, that's a different thing
Exactly.
than putting
Yeah.
someone who could jump rope. Because
Exactly.
a
That's
lot
on
of
her
people
assistant.
can jump rope, but double dutch is a
It's
whole
not on
different
her
thing.
assistant. It's on the agents who submit you.
Well, I'm saying if it says jump
Just
roping
jump
skills,
roping.
it doesn't say if the breakdowns didn't say anything about double dutching, and a bunch of jump ropers show up that can't double dutch. That's on whoever put the breakdown.
You need
up.
to put
No,
double
no,
dutch
it
because
did. It specifically said it. It
Oh,
said
well then,
double
then,
fuck
dutch
those agents.
players.
That's on
And
you.
I argued with my agent about this, and he still had me go in.
You know who puts out perfect breakdowns every time? The great folks at Disney. we.
They sure do. And I love that you're diversing your casting. I saw Aladdin, and I saw how it was a nice mixture. Holla at you, girl. Mm-hmm. So, yes, he was not in much other than Mighty Ducks D2, D3.
Yeah. Exactly.
But hey, he's in Disney motherfucking classic.
You know, at that age,
You got those
you make those
residual
films.
checks.
Yeah, you take that money, you go to college, you fall in love with something else, and that's and you get, you know.
Can I give you a fun fact?
wrong with
about
But
you?
Vincent LaRusso, you did a good job. We
Wait,
appreciate you.
I got a fun fact about him before you move.
All right.
Okay, so there was another kid cast as him
As Banks before he got the role.
before he got the role, but this kid was taking his captain of the Hawks, the opposite team, too seriously to the point where he was bullying kids. And they're like, "Hey, girl, we need you to stop bullying kids around here because we're Disney and it's literally like 75% of the cast is kids.
Yeah.
You know, let's not do that."
Especially
And
because
he-
Banks is supposed to reform to a degree.
Yeah, and then he did not hear to that and continued on bullying other kids, especially kids from the Ducks, and they let that motherfucker go.
As they should.
Well, good for Disney for
Yeah.
not putting up with that, because they are a morally upstanding company who understands the difference between right and wrong, good and evil.
And you are so right. because they were stopping bullying back in the 90s. Before it was cool. Before it was like, yeah, let's stop bullying other people. Disney was like, not on our set.
Also,
and you guys are fine people.
That moment in the classroom when Bombay is like, I need to talk to you guys. And the girl's like, people,
Oh yeah.
not all guys.
Not all guys.
I got really self-conscious about that when I used to work in sales because I would be, cold selling to groups of people at a time. I got really self-conscious about saying guys, and I started saying folks instead. And it really...
How'd that go?
It helped. I think
It
it
helps.
helped not because of the gender neutrality of folks, but because it brought out a kind of old-timey vibe that helped people feel more relaxed and at ease.
Come
like,
on,
You know who taught me how to do that?
who's that?
The good folks at Disney when I worked there.
Thank you, Disney.
Thank you.
Also, they
Disney.
teach you to never point with one single finger. If you got to give directions in the park, you park with at least three fingers. Which way is Pirates of the Caribbean? What you're gonna do is you're gonna go straight down Main Street, and as you see New Orleans to the left, you're gonna
Watch that left hand. Watch that left hand. I see it. I
If
see
you
the one
hit
finger out.
Frontierland, you've gone too far. You're gonna go through Adventureland and then over the hill, and Pirates of the Caribbean will be right there on your left-hand side.
Those are
Just
accurate
across
directions,
the
aren't
way
they?
That was
from
Those are accurate
that was-
directions.
Tom Sawyer's Island.
Yeah.
Can
Absolutely.
Can I drop a little Disney history on you? Because also, I did also work at Disneyland. The 2 or more finger point is dated back to Walt Disney and his smoking habits.
Nice.
So when he was in the park, people were like, where the fuck is Jungle Cruise? You're like, you're going to go right down there with his 2-finger smoke with his cigarette. And that's where.
Back when you can smoke in Disneyland.
Plus,
He was like, what do I look like, a surf?
Come on. I built this place. What do you want from me? And it's
Go
also,
right over there and fuck yourself.
Also, it's
Thanks for
because
paying.
It's rude to point. It's rude to point with one finger in different cultures. But let's
True.
go. Where we at? Where we at?
Since we're talking about the ladies of the Ducks,
Yes.
let's talk about Miss Marguerite Moreau.
Miss Cutie.
Yeah, she plays Connie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My girl.
She's had a career, hasn't she?
She's had a very good career.
Yeah.
Absolutely. She's still working. She's got a project in post-production right now. She's actually got one that she just completed called Viral, and then another one that is in post-production called Monuments. My girl has 91 credits to her current status.
Nice. Very nice.
Including Wet Hot American
I knew
fucking
you were going to bring up Wet Hot American
Summer.
Summer. She plays Katie.
Next summer movies. I don't care what is happening.
Yeah. So she continued on long after Mighty Ducks, and she
I forget that's her.
grew up absolutely beautiful.
She looks the same.
Yeah, she looks
She
the same.
looks the same, just like a smidge older.
Just like
Yeah.
more mature.
like,
She
oh,
grew
you're a
up-
woman,
yeah.
you.
Very,
Yeah,
very
exactly.
lovely woman.
Are you guys
she's
gonna do
also
a-
done Queen of the Damned.
Yes.
If you guys have seen that movie.
Have I? I dressed up as
2002.
hers for Halloween.
Did you?
As Aaliyah? Fuck yeah,
Aaliyah?
bitch.
Yeah,
Had green
dude.
contacts. I was feeling myself.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Are you guys gonna do a
Sounds
Groundhog
good.
Day? Given February is like right around the corner.
February.
Groundhog Day? We should.
I want to.
Honestly, you'd have to tape it next week because you'd have to have it cut for Groundhog Day.
February
2.
is Black History
February is
Month.
Black History Month. Sorry, I was. We're about to have some visitors in the house. It's about to get a little loud.
Jen made me slow. That was
What's more in tune with Black History Month than the same tragedies playing out over and over again with no real change?
My dude has a point. Whoa,
Fuck! You right.
getting deep.
I like just picture
Yeah.
Bill Murray as a black guy living the same tragedy over and over. Nothing changed except him.
Yeah.
That's
Eventually.
it. Eventually.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna think on that one.
All right.
I'm
Well,
gonna think on that one.
ironically enough, our next character is my dude Brandon Quinton Adams. Plays Jesse Hall.
Okay.
We've already talked about this, my
Yeah, we
dude,
have. That's right.
in Sandlot.
In Sandlot.
Oh yeah.
So we
He's
don't
in
spend too much
Sandlot.
time on him.
He is in Moonwalker.
You know, I already brought that up in Sandlot. 'Cause
We have talked about him.
Oh my god! I just played. My friend has one of those like big things. There's like a bunch of like arcade games from like 1979 to like 90
Oh, like
something.
the emulators that play
Yeah.
all the different games.
And they had Moonwalker on there, the video game, and you could be Michael Jackson going through alleyways, dancing, and
Like dance
You
fighting.
like kick everybody or something?
There was no kicking, which I thought was kind of dumb, and there was like laser beaming kind of stuff. You could like turn into like
I
Michael
would
Jackson
assume that you would
robot.
like eye gouge and kick, and then be
Eye
like,
gouge.
"What?"
There's
Yeah.
ironically, there's a bunch of kids just in alleyways, and you save them.
Is Joe Pesci in there?
He is in there.
Yes.
Do you
Bugs
really
and drugs.
do you really save them though?
I'm just gonna say yes. And you know, you can set off a button where you can make all your opponents dance until they die. Pretty much.
That's
They
lovely.
go doom doom. Every level is a different like Michael Jackson song constantly. It was kind of cool
I
though.
love that.
It was kind of cool.
So just because I don't remember if we mentioned it last time, my dude was in a different world.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, he played Dion/Tino from '89 to '91.
I mean,
So he
he.
was in a number of series. What did you think of him in this movie, though? We're talking about this one right here.
He was a good brother,
I like it. Yeah.
even though he was like the mean racist one. I guess not the racist one, but
I don't know if he was racist as much as like he's from the inner city. He doesn't like the
Cake
rich
eaters.
kids over the lake on the other side of the
Yeah.
lake.
I get that because they were
You know,
dicks.
and yeah, exactly. They're little assholes, and he's a very good hockey player.
He is good.
He's
you know?
one of the best.
He's
Ducks.
one of the best.
He really
exactly. He's one of the best on the team.
It showed me that black people can play hockey, which
Yep. Oh,
I still haven't
The
seen.
Love Guru didn't teach you that.
Was that before this?
I did run an
That was
experiment
after.
about this in 2012. I want to say 2000. I was living in Philadelphia. A buddy of mine and I, we had the NHL video game. Again, I've been playing these games since I was a kid. '94 is still the best, but we wanted to see if, at least within the game, because the game recreates the rosters of every NHL team in the league,
right.
if there were enough players of African descent that could create a team. And we
Like
were
three, huh?
too short.
How many
Team
needs a team?
team's 26 essentially, because you have basically 20 skaters, a couple guys that are healthy scratches, and your goaltenders.
So you told me there's like roughly 24 people out there.
In the NHL, about 25, 26, anywhere between any given year, anywhere between 20 and 30 black players. And the thing that we had to do to finish the team, we were like, okay, so we have 2 slots left on this team. What do we fill them with? So we looked through it. The game had just started including female players, but there were only 2 of them. But we managed to like create a team that of just take all the white men out of the picture, and this is the team you get. And we fucking ran the table. It was great.
Nice.
It was a fun team.
I just want to say, I appreciate that you went out of your way to try to make a
Had to
fucking
find out.
black team.
Had to find out. You know?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
It was kind
you.
of, we made the jerseys actually modeled after the colors, because you can create your jerseys from scratch. We
Nice.
modeled the colors after the colors of the Jamaican team from D2. It was like the same color scheme. It wasn't as much of a tie-dye because theirs are a little splotchier,
Yeah,
but it was
they're-
the same like pink and blue and green and white. Yeah. It was good. It was a
I
good team.
appreciate it. Thank you.
But
Well, my
I
dude
think
is still acting. He did a TV series called Reborn in 2018.
Hmm.
With his character named Wales, and we wish him the best of luck. We'll talk about him
Go
again
get it.
when we do Moonwalker.
oh my god.
Yes, when we do Moonwalker, I'm adding it on the list. Hold on.
Oh shit! Here we go. All right. Well, the comic relief of this movie. Who would you say it is,
Other than Goldberg?
other than Goldberg?
Other than Goldberg? Ooh.
Hey, better.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mr. Averman.
Averman.
Hey, it's not baseball. Hey, goal.
Save!
Goal,
Sweet.
goal, goal,
Go. Mm-hmm. He sniffs. He turns.
Mm-hmm.
He squats. He scores. Yes, Mr. Matt Doherty played
job-
Lester Averman.
His job is to be a fucking announcer.
Yeah.
That's what he's meant to do.
Yeah.
He
Well,
stops playing the game to fucking announce.
If you think they have an announcer, and they have an announcer
apparently-
in D2, right?
In
There's like a
D2.
young
Yeah.
kid announcing.
Oh, that's
It's like
right. Yeah, they got a little
teenage
guy.
announcer.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was one of the better players as well, if I'm not mistaken.
He's
He
pretty
was
good.
in like top 3 or 4, I would say. 4 after Banks joins.
Yeah.
You know, who is it that they nominate to take the shot at the end?
Other than Conway.
Other than Conway, like
Yeah, I think they say that.
Do they say Averman or do they say Jermaine?
I don't know. I thought they were actually talking about Jesse doing it.
Was it Jesse?
I don't know. I
I
can't
don't remember.
Because it's kind of like buried in that.
See, this
that
is the part where the
crosstalk.
audience is yelling at us.
Yeah.
We're like, it was
Look,
blank.
Let them yell.
Well, you know what? We're on our fucking third drink of fucking
Dude,
gin. You're
we're
lucky
almost-
I'm speaking
You're
right
We're
now.
sitting there
almost done
listening
with
to
the
this
movie.
at the gym.
Yeah.
You got a barbell in front of you. You're grunting. You're sweating. You spit on somebody unintentionally. You don't even know it.
One of our most avid
sitting in
listeners is about to walk
traffic.
through this door in a few minutes.
Yeah.
And he does listen to us while he's
At the gym.
working
Working
out
out.
or
Good.
running
Good.
and things of that nature. Even
Well,
though he's
you-
not
Hey,
supposed to be
hey.
listening to podcasts
Keep-
about drinking.
Whatever you're doing, you're at the gym. Keep it up. You look great. You're beautiful inside
does.
and out. Don't stop. You got this. One more rep. We believe in
more.
you.
There you go.
Hey, how about we do one
Shit,
more?
I'm gonna have you do like a whole thing
Just,
for when I'm working out because I need motivation.
I want you to play after every song so it keeps me going.
Just like between tracks.
Yeah, in between tracks, you're like, all right, girl, you got this.
I feel like
You
I
climb
should.
that hill.
I'll introduce
Clench
the
those
song
chins.
too. You know.
And
So,
now
Like,
we
what's
got
your
Missy
go-to
Elliott.
weight? Yeah.
Let me work it, let me work it. Flip it down, flip it in reverse.
Do it for Missy. Do it for
Missy
Missy
is
Z.
all about-
She's watching.
She is. And you know what she says? It's your femininity yet.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that Ashley worked with this guy on the Marin Show.
Ooh, okay.
He played one of the agents on the Marin Show in 2015. I don't know if that was one of the years that she was working on it or not.
Yeah, I worked on it all season.
Oh, well, there you go. So, there you go.
Yeah.
Chances are that Ashley has already worked with Matt Doherty, and she didn't even realize it. Just like she didn't realize she worked with Ernie Reyes Jr. until he was already off
Any
set.
any relation to Shannon?
Nope.
Good.
Nope.
Good for both of them.
He's a ginger.
Still,
She's
see
unless that's
those.
not her natural hair.
it's a recessive allele or something like that, right? Isn't that how it works?
Is that how it works?
I guess.
I'm not sure. But my dude is still acting. He's also very well known for So I Married an Axe Murderer
Oh,
with
so
Mike Myers.
good.
I love that movie.
whoa!
Whoa,
Harriet.
man.
Sweet Harriet. So loving. So
We're
trusting.
right here. I love that.
Good God.
All right, so we're stretching this episode out, and so we're going to keep moving on, and we're going to not talk about. Oh, actually, I think we might have to. Let's talk about Mr. Sean Weiss. Goldberg. Yes, Goldberg. Uh-oh. We got Cruz and Karina and Moses,
People are
our
rolling in.
former guest on our Mean Girls episode. It is Cousins Weekend again, so they're all visiting.
Very
Once
cool.
a year,
Once a year, they come in and
they fuck up my
invade
show.
the house and sit in on the
I'm just
show.
fucking with you.
Moses, welcome back to Lights, Camera, Cocktails.
Cocktails.
And as I said, our most avid listener is standing right there. He listens to every damn
Chris.
episode. Yet he's never been here during a podcast.
He was here for
Come here, buddy.
girls. Can I give you a fun fact?
He's actually on camera. Say hi to the people.
Hello.
Now get out of here. You're
Get out of here,
underage.
get the fuck out of here. Okay, so I want to give you a fun fact before. Oh, we're on Goldberg. Oh yeah. No, Goldberg.
No, give your fun fact.
Okay, so the writer of this movie, Steve Brill, he wanted to play Bombay in this fucking movie.
Really?
Yes, he sure did.
How dare a writer want to be an
Hey.
actor?
But
I'm guilty
Yeah,
of it
I know.
myself.
I know.
they were like, "Hey,
Terrible.
girl, no, not happening."
Who did he get to play?
How much did they offer him? That's what I want to know. What was his price?
No, he probably priced them. He wanted to be Bombay. They didn't want fucking him to be Bombay. You gonna pick some nobody?
That's what I'm
Right.
saying. How much
For
money
the-
did they give him to not be Bombay?
Nothing.
They put an extra zero on that fucking check for
Yeah.
writing the script, bitch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, did they hire him to write the script?
It was his script. You remember?
It was his script,
His
okay.
dark ass script about fucking being
Okay.
drunk and shit.
Therefore, in order to buy it, they had to offer him an extra zero.
because they were like, "We're not gonna use you, but here's another zero, bitch."
I'd have to dig into that and see what he sold beforehand. Because if it's
Yeah.
nothing, then they didn't do shit. They said, "Okay, you can walk," and he said, "No, please, just buy the film. I don't want to go back to my job at
Starbucks.
93."
Oh,
92?
93.
It's probably sold
Blockbuster.
in like 89, 90. Yeah, Blockbuster. Oh my god.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't knock it. That was kind of one of my dreams.
They probably called that's
work at
that was his
Blockbuster?
nickname on set. They called him
Yes!
Blockbuster.
How awesome would it be to work at Blockbuster?
Oh my God.
You need to
Dude.
watch movies all day. You just
Hell
got
yeah.
stock shelves.
I wanted to, but
Charge
they were
people
closed by the
late
time
fee.
I was ready to work.
Yeah, ready to work there, never gone. All right, let's go on to Goldberg.
Actually, now that I think about it, I think I did apply for Blockbuster Video
I've never
after I quit Disneyland.
There you go.
I've never applied for them, but if that was a thing, I would have. If it was still a thing.
Well, Mr. Sean Weiss, as you all know, plays Goldberg.
Goldberg.
I love this guy. He is a great character. He's a great actor. He's still acting to this day. One of
He does not look the same.
he does not.
No.
He's lost a significant amount of weight.
There was a whole thing for a while on the internet, like Goldberg's on meth or something like that, and it was a bunch of skinny pictures of him.
He's
That's
like, I'm
fucked
trying
up.
not to die, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna get cast as not the
He's
fat
like,
guy who
I
farts.
got healthy.
Not the fat guy who farts.
Yeah, that's a
I
shitty
got
role to
healthy,
do
you
forever.
assholes.
Has he been on the Goldbergs? Have they reached out?
There's a question.
No.
Because
No,
if they
he
haven't,
hasn't.
he definitely has.
I mean, he was on Freaks and Geeks.
Okay,
And I
yeah.
do remember his episode on Boy Meets World. Where
Goldberg. Get at Goldberg. What are you doing?
Right?
what's the
Swing and a miss.
tall redheaded girl from the college years?
No idea.
What are we talking about? Rebecca?
Boy Meets World.
Is that her name?
I don't remember.
Anyway,
But like he gets the girl at the end of the episode.
Oh.
Yeah.
was he thick Goldberg?
Yeah, he was thick Goldberg.
Thick Goldberg coming in.
And by thick Goldberg, I mean Sean Weiss was bigger.
You know what I know? That he's like Lieutenant Dan, and his name is fucking Goldberg.
Okay.
I'm sure his homies call him that shit.
Yeah.
His cousin he only sees every couple years. I'm sure he says him. I would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, if I had a Goldberg in my family,
And
every
then-
day of the week.
Yeah, and anytime like anyone farted at any time around
It's
him,
his fault.
I'd be like, Goldberg.
In fact, hanging out with him is an excuse to let
to
loose.
fart.
'Cause
and blame it on
yeah,
him.
you're not going to get in trouble.
Goldberg.
Well, after this, he did Heavyweights, which
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought was a great
That
fucking
movie is
movie.
fucking. That's Ben Stiller at his finest.
Absolutely.
That shit is hilarious.
I just want to say that he is not the only heavyweight champion in this fucking.
In this movie, right?
this
There's
movie.
a couple. Who's the
There's
other
at least
kid?
3 of them. The black guy we just talked about. What's his name?
Was he in this?
Oh no,
No.
Keenan is in it.
Yeah,
and he's
Keenan's
Keenan
in
is in it,
D2,
but he's from
yeah.
part 2.
He's part 2.
What's the kid?
The kid, the lead kid in heavyweight.
Yeah, Parker.
He's on the team.
Yeah, we didn't. I forgot to
He's
mention
on.
him.
He is on there, isn't he?
He
He's
is.
the lead dude. He's the new kid at camp.
Doesn't he
Yeah.
kind of disappear halfway
Captain.
through the first
This
Mighty
movie, he
Ducks
kind of
film?
disappears halfway
He
through.
disappears.
Like you see him in the beginning
He's in the
when they're
beginning,
looking at the
yeah.
Sports Illustrated and like, are you gonna take that from him? No, and then he gets his ass beat.
yeah, and then he just leaves.
Mm-hmm.
He turned out hot though.
Maybe
yo.
Bombay cut him. Let me
Aaron
see that. Let me
Schwartz.
see this. It's not my type. It's not my
not
type.
Daniel's type.
Not my
I
type.
understand he's not your type, but what I'm saying is, all those years I watched the fucking heavyweights and Mighty Ducks,
Fair enough.
I never knew he was gonna turn out like this.
You didn't know that was underneath.
I did not. He's
Yeah.
cute with his little smoldering eyes.
I mean, you didn't expect that from what's his name from Stand By Me either.
Looks a little alt-right
Oh
for me.
yeah.
Vern from Stand By Me grows up
Oh my
to
God,
be
that's right.
handsome
What
as
is
fuck,
it?
and then does Jerry Maguire.
Well, who was it from Harry Potter that took the undie shots like 10 years later with his fucking Aquanet can in his pants?
No shit.
Oh my God.
Wait, Harry Potter?
Neville? Something like that?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I
Hang
can
on.
understand
Hold
that.
on.
Okay.
I'm gonna get you this. This is gonna haunt your dreams.
I kind of need it.
I don't know
because-
why, but for some reason, after the last Deathly Hallows came out, every girl had a crush on Neville Campbell because of his speech that he has.
He's cute, man.
Yeah. But he ain't in this movie.
No,
Goldberg is. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean
Goldberg?
Sean Weiss.
no,
What's your favorite Goldberg line?
just them calling his fucking name over and over.
Okay. I like when he's tied to the
The
goal
goalpost.
post. He's like, Coach, don't make me come after you.
And they leave him like little fucking bitches. That's so wrong.
It is kind of wrong.
I mean,
I'm sure they were just messing with him.
I would have left him for a good couple minutes though.
Well, he did a movie, a TV series called Blessed in 2016. He did another project called Netflix and Chill in
Ooh.
26 as well.
Was it on
So-
Netflix?
I don't know. I wonder. It should be.
Because if it is, I'll give you a chance, Goldberg.
Okay.
My man is 41 years old now.
I'm sorry. We got to come back to this. Neville Longbottom, part 1.
Oh my god.
There he is as a young child with the
Yes.
gap and his silliness.
Okay.
Neville Longbottom, part 2.
No.
No!
Good for him.
Hold on.
Good for
Yeah,
him.
go ahead. Zoom into that.
What are you doing?
Zoom
I
into
don't
that.
want to see that
That
close.
wasn't for
You
that was
you
for
can
me.
tell he's uncircumcised.
It's Europe.
No.
Oh my god.
No one
Yeah.
told me this pudgy little kid that nobody wants to fucking be around. He'd be catching him off guard and get him in trouble and shit.
Isn't he the one that faints all the time in class?
I fainted when I
yeah.
saw that picture the first time.
I'm holding it together barely.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
Family.
So we are getting close to the end. We got 3 characters to talk about. Next up is Mr. Eldon Henson. Fulton Reed. For those of you who don't
Yeah.
know.
The
My dude.
Still killing it.
Still killing it. I like Daredevil.
Daredevil, yeah.
only dude on the Mighty Ducks who can't skate.
Can't skate. No, you moron. I mean, I can't. I don't know how to skate.
Idle Hands?
Idle hands. Yeah. Cuts
Oh,
off his head.
Idle
Him and Seth
hands.
Green.
Bringing it back.
Absolutely.
Butterfly Effect.
Butterfly. He's also in Butterfly Effect.
Yes.
So him
Yes.
and
What does
his
it say? It's
brother.
like,
was
shut
in
your
a-
mouth or
Survives
murder
the
your
womb,
mother in her
even in the
sleep or
director's
whatever the hell
cut.
he does.
He was the
He
fucking
ends up
crazy
in like the suicide
roommate,
thing
right?
chair.
Yeah, I don't know.
Was he was like the crazy roommate.
No,
Anyway.
he's the brother. He's Amy Smart's brother.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. no, he-
So Fulton Reed has that amazing slap shot, 1 out of 5.
I feel like I've just seen him in something.
Daredevil?
No.
Okay. Well, he's in that for the last 3 years. I don't know if they like gave him boots or something. Like I know they put him in boots, but
You mean lifts?
yeah, lifts because he's not a tall guy now.
He might have been taller than everybody else then.
Could have been that
I
situation.
was 5'11" when I was 12.
What the
And
actual?
and I
fuck?
only grew 3.5 more inches by the time I got to my maximum height, but I was tall early, and I
Man,
think
that is too bad.
he might have been in the same boat. Yeah.
I just want to.
That's true. I knew a couple of guys that were very, very tall in like 6th or 7th grade, and then it didn't grow much afterwards.
Which is fine. I don't mind being 6'2".
yeah,
It's a nice number.
I feel
I
like
wouldn't.
I've
I wouldn't
never-
mind being 6'2".
No, you wouldn't.
I never. I feel like I've never felt short.
Daniel.
I've always felt.
Yes, sir.
We'd be so rich right now. I know. God damn it. Anyway, Eldon Henson. I think he's a great fucking actor. I think he was doing a great job in this. Oh shit. Zenobia has a
What
difference of opinion.
No, I like him in
Okay.
this, but he is in one of my favorite. I guess he's in
Buscemi.
no.
I'm waiting for him.
He's in Hunger Games. He plays like Blue Blux or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And his character is one that has gotten his tongue chopped off in the Capitol, so he can't speak most of the. He can't speak at all in the movie.
Oh shit.
So he does
okay.
like small amounts of sign language, and he has his brother that's with them.
Got you.
He does a really good job at it, and when I saw it, I was like, oh shit,
Okay.
fucking. He's a sweetheart in that one too.
Yeah.
But he's very smart.
I mean, even in this one, he's like a misunderstood goon.
Yeah.
Like his heart is in the right place. You know, he defends the Ducks when they're still District 5 from the
Fucking
Hawks that
yeah.
are being assholes.
asshole.
Why are you pointing at me?
You see him
Oh,
when they're
this?
Your Hawks jersey, bitch.
when they're finally get the funding to actually go shopping for proper
He
equipment.
helps
He's like
Charlie
helping
get
Charlie
the
get the stick
Excalibur
off and
out
stuff.
of the.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
yeah.
Not only that, when everybody else gives up on Gordon Bombay because they believe Jesse's misinterpretation, Jesse and Peter's misinterpretation of what he said to Riley, it's Charlie and Fulton that
come
come
out.
skating out.
That worked themselves into a frenzy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then they forfeit.
I don't understand why Banks didn't come out unless he was just late because he was still getting ready.
That's a good point.
But
You
it's,
gotta
it's
come
a
from
little
the other
weird.
side of the lake.
Yeah,
like,
because
you
he's
know.
not exactly accepted by the Ducks yet.
Yeah, so why not make an effort with the two people that do accept him? I have to assume
Yeah.
he was still getting suited up because it takes a little longer when you're younger.
For sure.
I don't know.
You know.
I've never fucking hockey.
Got to use the lace hook and everything to get the skates on right.
I don't know what that means.
Don't worry about it.
I don't know. I go to ice skating rinks and I just rent the skates and I tie that shit up.
Yeah. Also, Tammy did not need to change into figure skates to do that move. The figure skates, I mean, it's about the toe pick. That's the whole thing.
Here's the thing.
The toe
She
pick.
felt
We'll talk
comfortable
about the
in
toe
her
pick
own
when we
Fair
do
enough.
cutting edge.
Oh, I just showed that movie to Court for the first time.
How'd she like it?
She fucking loved it
It's a
because she
great
knows
movie.
what a good movie is when she sees it.
Ooh.
Atta girl.
and it was great. Yeah, I watched that movie a lot when I was young. Oh my god,
That's a great fucking movie.
solid. Ugh.
It's time. It's the time that Daniel has been waiting for to
Wait.
talk about.
Wait.
What?
I don't want to wait. I just sang that.
You're about to wait.
Man.
That's why I wanted to stop before you did it. Because there was someone in this movie that I did not realize that was in this movie.
Oh, I know who you're gonna talk about. I was gonna give you the option to talk about him.
Well, you were about to roll over me.
Out. Hey.
About to. He did it. It was over.
So,
Hey.
Jesse's...
Smoke weed every day.
Smoke weed every day. Jesse's brother in the movie,
Terry.
Uh-huh.
Terry, is played by somebody we know.
Mm-hmm.
Personally?
No.
No, famously.
No.
On the boob
Famously.
tube.
On the boob tube. Jesse Smollett from Empire.
Empire.
That makes...
Never seen a second of the show.
It's a good show.
Not even an advertisement for it, other than a billboard.
Dude.
Whoa.
Yeah, nothing.
Okay, at least the first
Taraji
season
in the
is
dark.
really good.
Yeah.
First season is damn.
First
Yeah.
season is really good.
Yeah.
And it like gently goes down. But you might know him as the man who pretended, I guess.
Yeah, there was some controversy over him this last
Oh
year.
shit! That's right.
And
That's
therefore,
him?
That's why I wanted to give you the option to bring him up or not.
Yeah.
I know the scandals. I don't know the television. But
That's-
you just tell me about the.
Well, I thought the
That's who
name
it
would
is, dude.
fucking ring
He
a
plays
bell.
Terry.
It does now. Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's him.
What was the resolution of that? That he did pay people to attack him or to pretend
They
to
really
attack
didn't
him?
have
Something like that.
enough evidence to charge him with
Yeah.
shit. So it kind of just dropped and he has to do like a small amount of like community service.
Was he released from the show because of it?
Yeah.
The show is canceled now. Like
But at the time, it was not correct.
he was at the time it was not, and
Yeah.
he was let go for the final season,
Okay.
the final couple episodes of the previous season,
Damn
and then this last season will be its last season, and I believe it's due to drama.
I really,
Okay, so-
I really enjoy Terrence Howard, but I have a hard time
Right.
watching him and not constantly feeling the pain of Brokeback losing to Crash,
Hmm.
which was a horrifying moment in
Let me
Oscars
ask you
history
something.
to me.
So Terrence Howard, do you like him or Don Cheadle in Iron Man?
And you better pick the right.
I'm
Yes,
sorry.
This is a test.
You can almost always ask me, do I like Don Cheadle versus anybody? And I'm going to pick Don Cheadle.
Oh shit!
That's just where it's at.
Thank you, mother.
I did background on something Cheadle did a year or
House
two
of
ago.
Lies.
No, it was the other thing he did more recently, Black Monday.
Okay.
And I just love everything that man touches.
Thank you.
As
He
do
is-
I. But I also love Terrence Howard.
But
You gotta
I'm
keep
sorry,
all this shit in.
Cheadle wasn't in Crash, so
He was not in Crash.
I mean,
But as Rhodey in Iron Man and the Marvel movies.
I gotta be honest. I have how many Marvel movies are there?
Holy
25, 30 at this point.
I don't have
Something
enough
like that?
fingers.
I'm
You
serious.
go
What's
on
the
Disney-
number?
I don't know. You go on Disney Plus.
So
you
yeah,
count it.
it's got to be into the late 20s, early 30s. I imagine there
Mm-hmm.
are about as many as years I've been on the earth, and I've probably only seen 6 of them, 6 or 7 of them.
Okay.
something around that range. You know,
See, so the debate still.
so
We'll
that-
ask every
continues.
fucking
but I
guest
can
that
I
comes
can
on
answer
here.
I can answer that question without having seen it because I prefer Don Cheadle to Terrence Howard in every capacity.
Nope. I'm going to go with the original.
Sorry.
Whatever,
The
bitch.
originator of the role.
All right. Well, I just want
Don't get me wrong. I love Don Cheadle. And I'll tell you guys right now, we're going to do Rebound in March for March Madness. The Earl Matagold story.
Nice.
Oh shit, March.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. I'm announcing it right now.
I think that.
But in the
March...
meantime,
Okay, go ahead.
Pacey.
Can I sing it?
Go ahead.
now it's time for it. Hit it.
I don't want to wait for our lives to be over. Will it be? Yes, so will it be? Sorry. Sorry for the dead air. But it had
All
to
you heard
happen.
was Robin drinking water.
Yeah, you heard that? The rhythm section back there.
Joshua Jackson. Dude, I'm going to say this right now. Joshua Jackson was a very good actor, even at a very young age.
He's
Yeah.
always been a good actor.
He's been a very
Continues
good
to be.
actor.
It's cute when he was little. He was
Good-looking
cute
dude.
when he was older, like teenage, and now I'm grown.
I'm not
man.
even
Oh, in
gonna
The
look at
Affair
this because
with
I
that
know
beard?
Joshua Jackson.
Dude,
Oh my God, he was excellent in The
I
Affair.
will even take blonde ass him in Cruel Intentions.
Cruel
Gay,
Intentions.
gay blonde him. I'll take gay
Yeah.
blonde him.
Him and Ryan Phillippe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was his friend, and he got him
Can you arrange a meeting this evening on my behalf?
at the stroke of midnight.
At the stroke of midnight? Exactly. So Joshua Jackson plays Charlie Conway, who obviously becomes the
Captain.
captain of the Ducks for good reason, and it's because of his moral standings, in my personal opinion.
I
That
agree.
he was
No, it's
Dawson's
not because
best
he's
friend.
the best player.
That's
He's
not
the
always the
best
case
leader.
on. I'm not the best player on this team. There are definitely superior players on the team, but I tend to be the one that
Stop being
corrals everybody and yells at them about what to do, and
Gotcha.
they hopefully look to that. And when they take that advice, we usually do well, and I take a lot.
You
of pride
make the
in that.
decision for the betterment of the team.
I hope so.
No,
That's
you
what I
make
try
the
to do.
selfless
Yeah.
decisions.
But Conway,
And that's what Conway does.
This is a credit to Brill and the director and the editor and everybody involved in this decision making process, that he is not at the outset of the film front and center. It's not crystal clear that he is destined to be the captain or anything along those lines until about the midpoint of the film, when you start to get to know Emilio develops a relationship with the mother,
Yeah.
and it starts to build. He grows into the captain, and we grow into getting to know him with Estevez's character, with Bombay.
But you feel like you already know that he's going to grow into this captain role, because we see the fact that
Like when
He-
Banks joins the Ducks, he's like, on behalf of
He's
the
the
Ducks.
one, yeah.
they say,
That's a big moment.
You know, he swallows
Yeah.
whatever hatred he has for the Hawks right then and there.
yeah, you know, his mom is very vocal in what the fuck's going on and on the team. Her and the
How dare you drive that limo on
You
the
just
ice?
know doesn't cut it.
it does not cut it. And it doesn't cut it if it's my kid, my niece, or me. It does not fucking cut it.
I'm sorry if she doesn't understand weather forecasts.
Do you
and how
understand
they...
ice?
Yeah, I understand it well enough to know when it's safe.
Yeah.
And that was safe. I mean, you're talking about Minnesota in the fucking wintertime. There
Minnesota
probably hadn't
in
been
the
a
wintertime,
day
yeah.
above freezing for weeks. They were probably in the teens for weeks. That ice was feet deep.
I don't know. I'm from fucking SoCal, motherfucker. We
So
don't
was
get
she,
no-
apparently.
I'll let you
Look at
know when I
that
smell the
stuff.
rain coming.
I don't know. But her and the other black the black dad, which I also want to do a shout out, that I think that's a very
Mr.
cool.
Hall.
Yeah,
That's his
that
name.
Yeah.
that Mr.
I like him. This is what I spent my overtime pay for.
That's right. Or he gave up his overtime.
Gave
up
It-
my overtime
Yeah,
pay
that
for
he's
it.
like
He's
coming
like,
to see his
See
kids.
my kids take falls.
Yeah,
Cheetah.
great father. He's like, look, I'm gonna have my kids out here on the field. and
That's
stuff,
another
on the
moment for
ice.
Charlie Conway.
Yeah.
When Gordon gets in his face after the game and he's like, when I tell you to do something, you do it. And
Can't
Charlie
make me
stands up and
cheat.
he's like, you can't make me cheat.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, you can't
Good
make
on
me
you,
cheat.
Charlie. You know?
Unless I'm gonna get away with it. Let's
And
do
of
it.
course,
remember?
he is very
Like
well
the
known
Hawks.
for Dawson's Creek.
Yes, he
Yes.
is.
To drop
As
it one more
Pacey.
time.
I don't
want to wait
Oh,
for our lives to be over.
I want to know right now what it will be. Fuck that fucking Dawson.
I didn't
Creek.
watch the
love
whole
it.
show, but
I gotta be honest with you. I watched that first season by myself,
Nice.
and I don't mean
At,
like,
like,
I don't mean like
teenage
yeah.
years?
As it aired, every episode by myself in my living room, and it wasn't like something that was I just happened to nobody else was watching.
Your
with me.
sister didn't make you watch it?
And no, this was all me. And end of season 1, Dawson and Joey, when they kissed, I jumped up into the air
nice.
in joy and caught my hand in the ceiling fan. Unfortunately, I'm right-handed, so it wasn't that bad. It was my left hand, but man,
Love it.
it was worth it.
Absolutely
It was worth
love
it.
it.
I believe that.
Speaking of Dawson's Creek, since I love Playhouse West and Playhouse West alumni, your girl studied with our teacher, Miss Holly Gagne.
Which girl?
The girl.
I don't know what her character name is.
You got Michelle Williams and
Katie
you've got
Holmes.
Katie Holmes. Yeah.
Katie Holmes.
Okay.
She
Good for
actually
her.
lived with Holly for when she first moved out here.
She lived with somebody else too.
Yeah, she did. What are you going to talk about?
Talking about
She
Maverick.
ain't into this.
Talking about Maverick.
Oh, yeah. She was married to Tom Cruise for
She
many
was
years.
associated with Tom Cruise for several years.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it a marriage.
Yeah.
She got inducted in that cult and she made it out, so I'm proud of her.
That's true.
But either way,
They don't all
Mr.
make it
Joshua
out.
Jackson
They
has
don't.
always turned in a solid performance. I would love to see more of him. He's actually got a series called Little Fires Everywhere filming right now. I don't know where it's going to end up, but he plays a character named Bill Richardson. One of my favorite movies of his is The Skulls
Oh yeah.
Yes.
with Paul Walker.
Solid.
Sexy Paul Walker.
And we talked about him before, but I'm too drunk to remember his name right now. Who's Coach? You're too drunk to remember also.
Here's the thing. I called him Coach when we knew his name.
Oh, that's right.
Coach?
Parenthood. He played the dad.
might teach
Never
your
never
coach.
seen him in a Parenthood. I know Coach.
Yeah.
No, Coach.
Yeah. Don't know the names.
His name is Coach.
Oh,
right?
the coach's name?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Coach's real name.
No
His,
idea.
The actor's
I
name.
can't
Actor's
remember
name.
right
The
now.
actor's name is Coach.
He just did Poltergeist.
I'm
I
He's
just
can't
got that.
remember
He's got
right
a
now.
really, really
got
nice
two
line
movies
of
of his,
handbags. Hi, Robin.
Well,
and he did Fringe.
what's your favorite moment for Charlie Conway in this movie?
Just everything. He's the sweetest, most lovable. He's supposed to be the kid that you relate with.
Yeah,
When as a kid,
he's
you're
taking
like,
care of his
I'm
mom.
fucking
He's
Charlie.
the kid that grew up fast.
I gotta say the diner scene.
Yeah,
Ooh.
there you go.
It's a quality scene. It's good acting. They might have tear sticked him a little bit, but that's okay.
Did they tear stick him?
I don't know. You can usually tell by the way they fall and their relative consistency, because when you look at the human tears, depending on their source, whether they're from agitation, like physical agitation, sorrowful crying, happy crying, they actually have a different salinity content
I
and different
always
viscosity.
notice it when I haven't watched the show in a while, but Once Upon a Time they do it a lot.
Yeah, the tear sticks are very thin. The water that your eyes produce when exposed to camphor oil are very thin, and they tend to fall, regardless of where the camphor oil is placed, they tend to fall out of the center of the eye. And I think that's where they're falling in that scene for him. But the bottom line is that the scene is good, and it's a great moment for the character.
Yeah.
That he's there kind of giving this grown-ass man some other perspective, that he was too narrow-minded, he had too much tunnel vision about that moment in his past to realize that he should be proud of how close he came.
Yeah.
And
I don't
not,
think it's
not
a tear
wear it
stick
as a badge of honor.
because now that
or
I think
dishonor.
back to it, I remember now I will say that they cut from multiple takes. I want to say,
Yeah.
because you can see before even when Gordon drops the news that Terry and Jesse's dad is going to take over, you see the tears start to well up in Charlie's eyes, and you start to hear his voice start to.
Well, here's the thing,
crack.
and I want to go on the record saying this right now, that I have, as an actor, as a filmmaker, I have nothing against the use of the tear stick, because at the end of the day, it is as integral to the understanding of a moment as any other piece of makeup or wardrobe, if that is within the director's vision, and it's incumbent upon the actor to deliver as much as they can to coincide with any human emotion that would work for that. And if they do, then like you're saying, whether or not he was tear sticked, everything else about the performance was in perfect step with that.
Exactly. It was
So if
very,
the
very
director's
honest.
like, it's in perfect step, but I just wish I could see some tears, then you stick him, you get the tears, you get what you want. It helps convey a message to the audience, and that's all you need.
Yeah.
If there are some folks who can just and Scott Trost is teaching Meisner technique over in China. He says there's a
Love
couple of girls
Scott
in his
Trost.
class that they it's not an emotional thing. When they make themselves cry, when they cry on cue, when they do that thing, it has nothing to do with their emotional state. In some cases, it's very much a physical trick that people have a genetic tendency toward or a greater ability to do,
Yeah.
I have to take my contacts out when I do an emotional scene because my eyes run a little dry to begin with. So if I have contacts in and I start to cry, they just absorb into the contacts. Like that first tear never comes because it just
You're
sucks
like, I
up into
worked
my
for
dry.
that
I
shit.
know. So, but if
I
I
see.
take them out, I can get that first one.
Okay.
I didn't realize about that center eye situation though.
Oh yeah,
pretty
for the
cool.
tear stick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the viscosity.
Interesting.
Watch for the viscosity. That's the real key.
I've never used a tear stick.
Me
But
neither, but
like even
I'm
when
not against it.
I have a scene that I did with Courtney. You shot this scene, matter of fact.
Yeah, that's right. The one in the hospital.
Yeah, in the hospital. I have tears coming down. One of them comes from the corner of my eye. I only know this because I've edited it a
Right.
million fucking times. But the second tear does come from the center eye.
Hmm.
Like, is there a reason for that, or is it just
I don't know.
like the positioning of your head?
I'm sure there are a lot of factors involved, but if you see both eyes running center lines down in the tears and they look extraordinarily thin, they tend to be, because usually when people are crying, the tears slowly move down the face.
Sure.
But when they well up and drop from the lid to the cheek or come down the center very quickly, it's usually, and I learned this, I started to think about this the first time a friend of mine who was on How to Get Away with Murder
Oh, okay.
was telling me she did a scene in one of the first few episodes of that where she had to get there. And she was getting there in every way, but they were just like, give us some tears, give us some tears, give us some tears. And she's like, I'm there. If they're not coming, that's what's true for that moment.
That's the truth of the moment.
But if they want it, they get it, and they can do it, and it's fine. It's like
I
it would
love
be,
that
and,
you
and,
touch on this.
and that's why it's like if they were like, "You're right there, we love it. Just give us a bruise over your left eye." It's like, well, bring in makeup, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Come here, let me punch you.
Exactly.
As actors, they don't teach us to work for tears. You work for the truth of the situation.
Yeah.
Sometimes the tears come, sometimes they don't.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more important that you are 100% honest with the
And hopefully
given
you're in the hands of a
circumstances.
director who can shepherd you to a point where either they do come, or if they don't, that truth is the right moment. And if the director or the producers need to see it just to tell the story, then they should be able to take the actor aside and let them know why and how it's going to happen. And that should be fine too.
Yeah.
You know who's a director that I would love to work with?
I assume it's a long list, so just surprise
Yes,
me.
but the person that comes to mind right now, Emilio Estevez.
Yes. Yes. Did anybody see his? I didn't see the.
Mighty Duck
The
Man.
mighty duck man himself.
I did not see his movie. Oh my goodness, what was it called? It just came out.
He has a new one out?
He's in it and he directed it. It came out
Ooh.
last year.
Okay.
It was about a group of homeless people that that were freezing.
I've heard about
And
this.
that essentially performed a sit-in or a live-in, even if you will, in a library, in a public library. And he was a librarian who said,
called The
absolutely.
Public.
Yes, The Public. Looked awful when I saw the first trailer. Whoever cut the second trailer made it look much better, and I'm very interested to see how it is.
That is why anytime I see a first trailer or something, I'm always like, I don't know, let me see the second trailer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know, they're going to show me a little more. And it's
It's going to
probably
be a
gonna
little
cut
better, and then
yeah.
we're going to have music that's actually from the film and not
Yeah.
trailer music, and we're going to get a
Yeah.
sense of the real feel.
Yeah, I'm always like, let me see the second trailer.
Well, it is time to talk about the Mighty Duck Man himself.
So good.
Mr. Emilio Estevez.
We've
Emilio.
already talked about him.
Have we? Which one?
Outsiders.
Oh yeah, The Outsiders. Love
We did
that.
talk
Always
about
wearing the
him.
Mickey Mouse shirt.
Yeah,
So this is. I love this man.
me too.
I think he's a fantastic actor. From the Mighty Ducks to
in
The
his blood.
Outsiders. What's that?
I said it's in his blood.
Yeah, absolutely. Charlie Sheen's son. You know,
Martin Sheen's
or
son, Charlie
Martin
Sheen's brother.
son,
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen's brother. All of
He's got the tiger blood.
All of the siblings are actors.
Yes.
Matter of fact, there's 4 of them.
Well, the other two can't be as good because I've never heard of them.
I've
Well-
never heard of them. There are no Sheen and no Estevez. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, Men at Work was one of the funny movies of the 90s
Yeah,
as
bitch.
well. One of my favorite movies of his, believe it or not, is Young Guns.
So good.
So
Believe
fucking
it.
Okay.
I believe
both
it.
of them, 1 and 2. God
I'm
damn
going to
it.
go on a very brief tangent here. That's what I do.
All right, let's hear it.
That's why you bring me here.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
I had some friends visit me at college in Meadville, Pennsylvania, and we went to a thrift store. I can't remember the name of the thrift store, but it was this weird place run by these 2 Australian people and their Great Dane. And we found a video cassette of a movie starring Claude Rains called Battle of the Worlds. The video cassette was sealed. We bought the video cassette. We took it home. We opened it. Battle of the Worlds was not inside. There was an unlabeled VHS inside instead, and it was dirty. It was like physically dirty.
Like a porn?
We don't know. At this point, like there was filth on the cassette.
Oh!
So we put the cassette in, and it was some people's home movies. from New Year's Eve, 1993.
Oh.
Like right
Now-
after this movie.
Right after this movie, so it's appropriate. But it was also right after Wayne's World. So they were doing like
Nice.
extreme zooms. They were doing the swing stuff. It was 4 people on New Year's Eve. No kids in the film, but accoutrement in the space of
Screamed there's children.
yeah,
in the
like
elevator.
walkers, bouncers, kids' toys, stuff like that. But they were out for the night.
Yeah.
Okay.
These
So
four
the
were
friend.
celebrating. These 4 were celebrating. There were 3 people in their 20s, late 20s, and 1 woman maybe in her early 40s.
Okay.
They were crashing in on each other in the bathroom, doing all this immature stuff you would do if you had, say, just gotten a video camera for Christmas that year and now it was New Year's. It's very uncomfortable to watch, and it was taped over another cassette because you just get the video camera. It takes full-size cassettes. You just grab one out of the cabinet
Yeah.
and
Yep.
go. So you're watching these home videos, and then the tracking lines come down the
Yeah, oh,
screen,
yeah.
and it cuts to something
bringing
else.
me back.
What does it cut to? It cuts to this guy playing saxophone. And then there's tracking lines after just like a split second of the saxophone, and you're back in the home movies because they hit record again. So whenever they stop the tape and hit record again, you see what was on the tape beforehand, right? So they do some more silly stuff. They crash in on each other in the bathroom. They're playing cards at one point. It's very silly. And then you see the tracking lines, and it cuts to, I swear to God, an extreme close-up of full penetration. Just bam, bam,
Oh,
just
God.
going. Just hair and flesh and moisture. Anyway.
Time out.
So,
Time out.
Where is this going?
Yes,
we're
and
getting there.
right.
I just want to just quick.
Bring it full circle.
Just quick. So was this like a porn, like a
It wasn't
professional
theirs. This was a
porn?
professional porn that was
Okay,
on the
okay,
tape. It wasn't
okay.
theirs.
Oh my God.
All right,
But they
that's- okay,
taped over
continue.
their porn with their
Where
home
is this
home videos. So they go through some more stuff. The countdown happens. They're wasted. They're silly. They're quoting Wayne's World, and it finally ends. And the tape continues to the second half of Young Guns 2.
Yeah.
And then Tombstone. It was like
Ooh,
it
and
was a
it's
long tape.
Two of my favorite westerns.
This is the greatest found
That is
footage
the
I have
craziest-
ever seen.
If this sounds like your
Like
parents,
full mullets, all 4 of them.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
or if this sounds
Midwest,
like your,
you know, I just, oof,
Oh my god.
yeah.
What the strangest? You got drunk 20-something, 40-somethings,
Yeah.
New Year's, playing games,
Missing
doing
children.
shit, missing children. Then you
Full
get-
penetration.
You get some.
The saxophone player was a
dude.
badass too.
Then
He's
you
like
go
full
back to
suit,
the-
sunglasses on stage, doing his
Love it.
thing.
You get some parents back at it again, and then it just goes straight to full Pound Town.
Yeah.
And
And
then
then it's like
Young
Emilio
Guns.
Estevez getting put in the trunk and thrown out the window in Young Guns 2.
Oh,
And the trunk stumbles to the sand and it's all quiet and he bursts out and starts shooting.
Oh, that's part 1.
That's 1?
That's 1.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's 1 then.
Yep,
then it
that-
goes to 1.
Yeah.
And then
he
it goes to
jumps
Tombstone.
out and he's got that deep voice and he's like,
Yeah.
"Rrrr," and he starts
Love
shooting
it.
everybody. That's
He
when
said, "Where is this
Charlie
going?"
dies in that one.
Where's it going? It's going back to Young Guns.
All of a sudden, he takes off. He survives. Lou Diamond Phillips survives. Kiefer Sutherland survives. All of a sudden, Emilio Estevez, who is playing Billy the Kid, a.k.a. William H. Bonney, comes back on the white horse. Comes back, throws his gun over his arm.
Of course.
Points it at him.
Gotta
He's
steady it.
like, reap it, you Murphy, you son of a bitch. Hits him right
between
square
the eyes.
between the
Yeah.
eyes.
You're welcome to cut all that out. That's a lot.
Fuck no. I'm cutting nothing.
We're already at 4 hours.
Here's the thing.
220.
I wish that he would cut a lot of things out, but he doesn't, and
Nope,
it pisses
nope,
me off
nope.
every week. Anyway,
Nope.
so
Emilio.
that
We
is
Let
not the
camera
fucking
roll.
movie. It's
You
not
guys
the
see
movie.
all of us.
That's
I
not
got
the movie.
nothing to hide.
We're talking about Emilio as Gordon Bombay.
It came
Up in
full
the
circle.
shit.
It came full circle.
I got a-
Emilio Estevez.
I got a fun fact.
What's that?
It was so cold in Minnesota, right? Is that right?
Minnesota.
So cold in Minnesota that when him and the mom do their little kissing scene in
Little
the
date.
snow, their little snow date,
Uh huh.
their lips stick together.
No shit.
Oh,
That they had to pour warm water on them to separate them because they were like, oh sure.
That's why she quit acting.
That's
She was
why
like,
right
you know
there.
what? If I've got to be stuck
That
to
garlic.
Emilio's lips, I'm out of here.
Yeah, done.
there are worse lips to be stuck to.
It's true.
Yeah, like R. Kelly or Voldemort. It's, just a bunch of,
Wow.
it's a lot of worse lips.
They really are in league with one another, those two, aren't they?
In my book, yes.
Yeah.
It is.
I was like, wow, they're in the
Absolutely.
same category.
In my book, Yes.
So
I mean, what Voldemort did to poor Gail King.
He made her a star, so I can't really be mad at that because even when she dies, Gail King's like montage is gonna have that interview in it.
Yeah. Robert,
sit down, Robert.
All right, guys. So check this out. So I'm gonna give you a fun fact because I don't know when we're gonna get to this movie. Emilio Estevez's arguably breakout role was in The Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Played Andrew Clark. He did some movies before then, but that was like his big thing that like brought him into the Brat Pack. He was originally not cast as Andrew Clark.
In Breakfast Club?
Yes.
You're gonna tell us who was.
Good.
No. There was nobody cast as Andrew Clark. He was cast as what's his name's role?
Bender?
Yes.
Oh, I could see him as Bender.
He was cast as
Judd
Bender.
Nelson. Yeah.
Judd Nelson. Thank you. The fucking Jin.
So we don't put Jen.
So he was cast as Bender, but they couldn't find anybody to play Andrew Clark. Therefore, John Hughes got Emilio Estevez to play Andrew Clark and cast Judd Nelson to
That's
play
a
Bender.
team captain who can turn to a young budding star and say, "You're gonna play Andrew Clark." I'm
And he
sorry,
was like,
and,
yes, sir, and I got it.
and that's the Charlie Conway in Emilio who said, "Okay,
He's like, you know what, bitch? All I need is a Letterman jacket,
yeah,
and I'm on it.
Hook me up, coach."
Well, do you know that he wasn't the first thought for Gordon Bombay?
After Brill, there was somebody else. After
Yeah,
the writer.
That's right. After the writer.
After the writer,
the writer was a quick scan over. No.
They got rid of Brill because, hey girl, they wanted a big name.
Can we see a picture of Brill? I'd love to know what, like.
Oh, you have seen him before.
What is? So has he acted?
He plays the dishwasher repairman in Edward Scissorhands.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back to.
I'm gonna
catch
get
that.
you a picture.
Go
Yeah.
on back.
That sounds great.
But
Continue. I'm gonna get you a picture.
okay, so other people that were going up for Gordon Bombay were Tom Cruise,
Okay.
Tom Hanks, who's always on any list that we ever fucking make.
Love it.
They're like, you know who we
Love
thought
Tom
about?
Hanks.
Tom Hanks. They're like, oh, we're gonna do the Martin Luther King story. Who should be Martin Luther King?
Tom
Tom
Hanks.
Hanks.
I'd buy
matter.
it.
I have said this so many times. If he played fucking Malcolm X, I would go see. I would be like, you guys, let's give him a chance, y'all.
Yeah.
Let's just give him a
Look at him in the
motherfucking-
glasses, the bow tie.
Let's
It's not far off.
Let's just see what he does with it. It's gonna be good no matter what it is. One that I don't know how you guys feel about this one, but he was too old for the role. But Bill Murray, I think that he would have been a very.
I can see
I can
him
see it.
definitely in the first half of the movie.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
yeah.
I can totally see him being the
or the first
worst
quarter.
I could see him training the kids to
worst.
cheat and having a blast.
Yeah,
blast. It would be more.
definitely.
It would be more. I feel like if it was Bill Murray, it'd be more like Bad News Bears.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Very more like Bad News Bears. Also, they had Michael J. Fox, who I could see.
Love Michael J. Fox.
Love me some J. Fox.
I don't know,
And
92. How old was Estevez compared to Fox? What's their age
They're
gap?
about the same age.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, they're about the same age.
roughly the same haircut.
Yeah.
Breakfast Club came out roughly 2 or 3 years, give or take, as Back to the Future.
Okay.
One more person for Bombay, Charlie Sheen.
Man,
They went with the
he
right
is
brother.
Still bitter.
I think they went with the right. He's still better.
He's still mad, no. Strangely enough, Estevez has moved on to directing for the most part, and he cast his brother Charlie and his dad in a lot of his movies.
As would I.
So I
Especially
do have
his
a picture for you.
Brill.
Stephen Brill looks a lot like Bill Murray.
Oh wow. Okay, I could see it.
Okay.
I don't
Fuck,
like him.
he
I don't like him
does.
for Bombay. You know, if you're showing me headshots of the two of them, and maybe I'm
For sure.
biased because I've seen Mighty Ducks now
Plus, this
284
is like
times.
him in like the 2000s of something.
Probably. It's probably a dated photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Whatever.
But either way.
No
yeah.
thanks.
He's had a number of things. He is also the director of Heavyweights.
yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
Yeah.
Good job, sir.
Yeah.
Good job.
Fuck
Well-
this Jin. I can't even think of his name right now, even though I love him. Lead actor of Heavyweights.
The young actor or
No.
the
Ben
Stiller?
Stiller.
Ben Stiller.
Wow, that Jen is
I thought Ben
working.
Stiller directed
See why
that.
we don't like Jen?
Yeah.
And I feel
I
like
feel
I'm
great.
I feel like I'm doing like a slight better than I
Jen
normally do.
does not agree with our brains.
But I still feel stupid. Yeah, well, you guys got to remember that the 90s had a lot of kid sports movies.
Little fucking giants. Thank you
Yes,
very much.
Ed O'Neill.
Devin
Ed
Sawa
O'Neill.
again. That
Dude.
fucking hunk.
Ed
Little
O'Neill
Giants.
and Rick Moranis.
We got
Yeah.
Sandlot. We've got Rookie of the Year.
Oh,
We've
funky
got
butt loving.
fucking
Did you just say funky
Butt
butt
loving.
loving?
We have Angels in the Outfield. They were just coming
Joseph
with it.
Gordon-Levitt,
with
yo.
They
A
were
couple
coming
of
with it.
camp movies too. In addition to Heavyweights, you had Camp Nowhere.
Yeah.
Another classic. What else is there? I feel like there's one more. I'm not thinking. Obviously, Salute Your Shorts, the series.
Yeah, Jen.
All right.
That Jen, huh?
Well, as Daniel said, Mr. Emilio Estevez has moved on to directing, and he did a movie called The Public. And now that you mention it, I really want to see it.
Very curious to see how it is.
down.
Yeah.
Michael Kenneth Williams.
I will look at trailer 2. as
Yeah,
you
trailer number
suggested.
2 is far superior.
Being that I'm 3 mighty Bombays in, I'm not going to say this verbatim, but the last thing I'll say about Emilio Estevez is that he has a quote online about Hollywood and how if they give you fame, they can take it away, but if you earn it, they can't. And also, you have to decide how much of your soul you're willing to sell to do another blockbuster or this, that, and the other. And eventually you have to decide whether you want to do that or if you just want to put out good work. And I think that Emilio has decided to put out good work rather than being extremely famous, because he ultimately had Hollywood and everything that goes with it at his feet. And after, I would say, like Mission Impossible, he decided to step away from that and focus on just doing good work.
He was good in Mission Impossible. That was
He was.
a lovely role.
Yeah. They killed him off very early.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was his
Spoiler
choosing
alert.
or what.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that in the last 20 years.
But I mean, he does a good job.
Always
He's
does a
always
great
funny.
job.
He does serious good. His dad is amazing. I
Mm-hmm.
just watched the first episode of Grace and Frankie today.
Is he in
Fucking
that?
his dad, yeah.
Oh,
Martin,
nice.
yeah.
Sheen.
Okay.
Badlands, one of the greatest roles of all time.
Yes.
There you go.
So he's out there.
Apocalypse.
I love him. We were definitely talking about him again because he fucking makes good shit.
Okay.
So
And
second
of
time
course,
talking
you got
about
to
him.
mention Loaded Weapon.
And one day we will.
I'm kidding.
No.
That's a good movie.
I got to float a theory.
What's that?
If I can. So you have your fun fact segment, sort of sub-segment that recurs throughout the episode. Do you have a fan theory segment? By any chance?
Fan theory. Go.
Okay.
We do now?
The fan is me. The theory is thus. Hans is a Nazi defector. Follow me.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
How deep are down
Think
this rabbit hole are we
think
going?
back to World War II. Okay. The Nazis lose the war on 2 fronts. On the Western Front, you've got the Allied forces moving in across France and through into Germany. Okay, eventually tackling Berlin in, I believe, April 1945, roughly. Not good on my World War II history, and if there are buffs on, please yell.
Get it right.
On the other side, to the east, they lost that winter, I believe, or the winter before, to the Russians for a number of reasons. But think back to Bombay's father in the flashback. Do you remember how he was dressed? No. When they cut back to Bombay skating on the
I remember a
pond,
scarf and a black jacket.
not a black jacket, but a black hat. He's wearing a very particular type of hat. I don't know the name of it, but
It's a
it
Nazi
is
hat?
it is a hat very, very much associated with Russia during the Cold War, particularly Russian citizens, but also people trying to blend in as Russian citizens or citizens in general. So, the theory is thus. At the height of the Second World War, Hans, a medical researcher for the Nazi Party, researching the effects of measles on captive populations. Now, at a certain point, there was a law passed, I believe this was 1937, 1938, that said that measles tests could no longer be applied to German citizens. But then again, you get the flood of Jews and other undesirables into the concentration camps, right? And they are tested on all kinds of different medical tests. Measles very likely was among them. There isn't a lot of documentation, but there is documentation of a restriction against testing on Germans in the late 30s, on German citizens in the late 30s. So Hans, doctor testing measles, decides that the Nazis have it wrong, right? Sees that they're losing to the Russians, defects to Russia, okay?
You're getting deep on this.
Leaves Russia to come to the United States when the U.S. wins the war, takes on a new identity, opens up a little hockey shop in Minnesota, okay? Meanwhile,
stick with him.
his KGB contact in Russia,
Okay.
who bought a bunch of science from him to help him defect, is Gordon Bombay's father, a young KGB officer looking to make a name for himself. But as the Cold War comes on and he's communicating with his old asset Hans, who's telling him how great Minnesota is compared to Moscow, he decides that's where he wants to raise his family. So he takes his family to Minnesota and raises them to love everything American and hockey, et cetera, et cetera. What happens that allows the Ducks to make the playoffs? In the first film, the team above them in the standings comes down with the measles.
Oh shit!
Infected
How much
by
time have
Hans.
you spent on this?
Several weeks.
My question is, are you a pothead?
No.
Because your theories are sounding real potheadish.
No, I am
Okay.
not.
I
But
like it. Go ahead.
so Hans infects the team with the measles to allow the Ducks to get into the playoffs,
Okay.
knowing full well that he and his brother have an in with Hendricks.
Hans always has had that guy.
Hendricks,
in hand.
who's in line to get the contract with the U.S. development team for the Goodwill Games. This is all. So the entire first film is a conspiracy between a Nazi defector and a Russian defector to create the ultimate American hockey team by the second film. And they succeed.
They are U.S.
So in reality, the victory of both of these films isn't. It's not about the Ducks versus the Hawks or U.S. versus Iceland, which is a place where a lot of Germans left the country to and continue to vacation at since World War II. But it was about finding a way to elevate America on the world stage at the height of the Cold War or in the aftermath of the Cold War. And they were bolstered by a particular victory in 1980 at Lake Placid in the Olympics when the United States beat Russia to... Is somebody laughing at me over there? When the United States beat Russia to almost end the Cold War. That put the Russians on their heels. What finally destroyed their hopes for a Russian global domination was the second Mighty Ducks film.
Oh my god. That's too much for 3 Gordon Bombays, or what is it called? The Mighty Bombays.
The Mighty Bombay, bitch. My brain is swimming.
Where's that? Check it out. Check it out.
I'm gonna listen to this again sober and see if your theory holds water.
It's airtight.
It's airtight.
All right, well, I'm out.
Well,
I'm done.
If you got two and a
Emma's
half
done.
hours in and you got to hear that, congratulations. You're one of the few.
Oh my
one
god.
of the very few.
My mom's gonna be like, no, Daniel was right.
That's true, yeah.
I got one more.
Fun fact?
Fun fact.
Perfect.
So in Australia, this movie was called something completely.
Oh
different.
shit! What did they call it?
You know, I like it when I find
I
different
love when
names.
you find the new names.
So in Australia, they had to be extra different, and so their name for Mighty Ducks is Champions.
Right, and it
All
was
right.
marketed for in some markets as Mighty Ducks are the champions when the second film was coming out, right? To differentiate it from the first.
The second one is like at least in
stole
Australia.
the Queen song?
So the first one is called Champions. Part 2 in Australia is called The Mighty Ducks, and Part 3 in Australia is called D3, The Mighty Ducks.
Gotcha. I have
So
to
they
pee
never
so
they never
bad.
got D2. Okay, well then you know what time it is then.
I know what time it is. What time is it?
Time for Z for the people. All right, so I found a spot to go with this movie. So since
Talk to me.
1989, the U.S. Hockey Foundation has helped kids all over the United States.
Nice.
It's supplying them with skates and uniforms and stuff like that. Actually having fundraisers for them to raise up, having tournaments. And they've had U.S. tournaments all over the world. And we win and shit in hockey, apparently, from what I've seen. They also allow children, I believe, with mental and physical disabilities to play hockey as well. So they sponsored that. And it was a pretty cool foundation that I found. So
Nice.
If you are into hockey, your kids are into hockey, and it looks like it's not just for kids, I think that you might not look into this fucking foundation if you ever need anything for your Hawks.
That's
Your
right.
hockey team.
Win,
Go to
win.
They're like win.
Win.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're fired up
Lose?
now.
You can go to the ushockeyfoundation.com and you can donate your time, donate your money, or ask if they can help you out. Shit. And that is my Z for the people.
Nice.
See, I can't sing, but I can imitate other people.
That is all singing is.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I just got to choose the right singer.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Bo, I wish that I could, because I sound like Beyonce right now.
So-
Shit, or Rihanna.
Before we get to this scene, there's one thing that we forgot,
Oh, yeah.
and that is Daniel was going to do a little play-by-play of why the Flying V will work in certain situations.
So,
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Check
let's
this
do it.
out.
traditionally, there's a play in hockey called a 3-on-2.
Can you raise it up because it's blocked by the lights, camera, cocktail sign?
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to move it over here. Okay.
You're good. Just above the mic.
Trying to get it all working.
There you go.
So, when there's a 3-on-2, there are 3 forwards moving in the direction of the goal and only 2 defenders back. It's called an odd man rush because they have an odd number of players on there, right?
Okay.
Now, traditionally, the best way to do this is for the guy in the middle to have the puck, or girl. The player in the middle to have the puck. And as soon as they reach the blue line, to dish it off to a player on the side.
Depending on which defender attacks first.
Actually, to a certain degree, it's a little loose, but the idea is that they want to get rid of the puck so that they can drive the net as hard as they can, because that forces both of these defenders to come back. Because in that split second, there's no clear determination as to who's going to do what with the puck, so they're forced to move back.
Gotcha.
And what that allows the puck carrier to do is make this pass across the seam to the third man in, who will take the shot more often than not, as this guy comes in the back door for rebounds and this guy crashes the net. Now, the Flying V, I don't know how to clear this. Reset everything. Yes. The Flying V is essentially an augmented 3-on-2,
Okay.
where you have... Let me just set these up here. Come on, guys. Here we go. You have 5 players in a rough V formation, and even if you have all 5 players back, in fact, let me start this out a little earlier. So you start out behind the net, right? So they start out in the V by the time they get out here.
Yeah.
And the defenders are out here, like this. In kind of the 5 you see on a piece of dice. That's
Yeah.
how you would see that, okay?
Okay.
Now, as they move up, you'll notice in the film, they move the puck back.
Yeah. Immediately.
It starts out with the player out front, and they move it back to here, and it can move around among these players, but there's a rule in hockey where you can't hit the player that doesn't have the puck.
Oh, okay.
So these guys can't really access the puck carrier. They're being protected by blockers, essentially, almost like it's a football play.
Gotcha.
And by the time they get back into their own zone, the forwards, the wingers here, they'll right before the blue line, they give the puck to the guy in the center.
Uh-huh.
And this is where it gets cool.
If I'm not mistaken, that's Jesse Hall, and Guy Germain is the one in the back.
Yes, it
Or
is. And
might
what
be vice
happens is, player number 2 has to let this player go by to player number 4, and they break off together. This player comes over here. They break off together. They break off together, and it
becomes
creates
a man-on-man
a
situation.
one-on-one. Exactly. And it happens at the blue line where there's all this lateral room. So all that this player has to do is pick a side, their strong side, move around, and they're going to get a great shot on net with two players coming in from either back door, depending on where the rebound goes, and these guys looping back to cover the point and defend in case it gets broken up.
Nice.
Now, of course, the only way to stop that is to do what they do in D2, which is to throw a big hit on the puck carrier as the puck moves forward to the front man at the blue line. If they do that, they all fall over like bowling pins, and then it goes 5-man the other direction, which is how it works. So that's a breakdown
They did
of
it
the
very,
Flying
very
V.
well and in accordance with the rules in D2.
Yeah, it was totally legal how they defended against it, and it was completely appropriate. That tutorial was brought to you by Hockey Board, a free app for Android definitely and iPhone maybe.
iPhone maybe. All right.
Yeah.
That's a Flying V.
So,
That is a Flying V, and that's how it works, and that's how you can defend it. I love it very, very much. So, sadly, I have to confess that I did not rehearse this scene
okay.
at all.
You're
But-
fired.
I know. I'm sorry.
I'm fired too, then.
I also showed up to work drunk,
Fair enough.
but we're gonna do it anyway. It's
Showed
gonna
up
be
to
fun.
work drunk?
Yeah.
Did you get in trouble?
I don't know. Not yet.
Did they notice you were drunk?
I don't know. Can you tell I'm drunk?
You haven't
Right
stood
now?
up yet, so I don't
You're not
know.
going to work now, are you?
I'm working.
Yeah.
We're working now. So we're gonna do the scene from next week's movie, and we're gonna see how it goes because normally we're more prepared than this.
I'm not going to be doing the accent because I think it's absurd.
Mate, you gotta do the accent. How are you gonna play Wayne if you don't do the accent?
It's not. It's an Australian accent.
Oh, you're right. My fault. Sorry. I've been
saying,
watching
I'm
trailers for
not
The Gentleman
hearing-
all week.
Not hearing.
Come on, make it sharp. Cut me with it.
You don't
I'm
have to
very
do
excited
that.
for the
I'm gonna do an
Gentleman.
accent, but that's rare for me as well. So
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna move this into my eyeline, and then we're gonna knock this out and get on with our lives.
Let me know when you're ready, since I have the first line. I don't want to rush
Yes,
you.
you do. All right. So let me do a quick speed through. All right.
You good, Z?
As
She was
as
born
she's
ready.
gonna be.
dude, Jen's in my system, so God knows what's about to happen right now. All right.
Jen fucks us up in the first place.
Yeah, so even if I practice this for a month, I'm still fucked.
Fair
We
enough.
made you 3 takes.
So what's next for the Knoxes?
Well, I'm thinking about us laying in bed for about 2 days. And maybe we can. I've been thinking about motherhood. So me and Mickey, we should start on that as quickly as possible.
All right, gotta go.
Oh, wait. How do you intend to disappear? I mean, you two are probably the most famous couple in America.
Well, there's that Underground Railroad where.
Okay, in the interview.
Okay. Let me just swing the camera around and do my little wrap up.
Oh, we're gonna do a little wrap up. All right, Wayne. But it won't be you staring at the camera, looking dumb and acting stupid. Instead, it's gonna be staring down the barrels of our shotgun, and we're gonna be blowing your brains all over that tree back there.
Okay, wait. Time out. Cut. This is a fucking joke, right?
Not Wayne the Saint Show.
Wait, don't you guys always leave somebody alive?
Yeah, the camera.
We didn't shoot that shit.
All right, let's try that one more time, just for fun, because this is a fun ass scene,
That was fun.
and I know how much you love this movie.
I can't wait. I can't wait. No, I can't wait.
All right, when you're ready, because I don't like to say action.
So what's next for the Knoxes?
So I'm thinking of us laying in a big bed for about 2 days. And I've been thinking about motherhood. So I think that me and Mickey should start on that as quickly as possible.
All right, gotta go now.
Oh, wait. I mean, how do you intend to disappear? You two are probably the most famous couple in America.
Well, they got that Underground Railroad where they...
Okay. In the interview.
Let me just turn the camera around and do my little wrap up.
Oh, we're gonna do a little wrap up, all right, Wayne. But it ain't gonna be you staring at the camera, looking dumb and acting stupid. Instead, it's gonna be you staring down the barrels of our shotgun. And we're gonna splatter your brains all over that tree back there.
Wait. Time out. Okay, cut. That's a fucking joke, right?
Don't you go running. Turn around like a...
Wayne?
Take it like a man. Not like a carrot.
Wayne.
Yes,
I love that
Queen.
shit. You always leave one survivor, right? Yeah, your camera.
Camera, bitch.
We don't need you, dude.
He's like, oh, okay.
Dude, he's pleading for his life. He's absolutely pleading. All right, you guys. This has been it hasn't been that long. You'll be all right. Thank you so much for sticking with us, though.
Long workout.
We appreciate it. Daniel, thank you so much for coming on. We would love to have you back on. It's been a pleasure.
Yes.
I'll be back for Speed. You guys set up a date for Speed. I'm here.
Definitely got to do Speed.
I need your sister for Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Day.
Get that petty cash.
Yes.
Love Keanu Reeves and Sandy Bullock. Love fucking Sandy Bullock.
Me too.
Tell that wildcat behind the wheel.
Not to slow down. No. All right, you guys, we're out of here. We will see you guys right here next week on Lights, Camera, Cocktails.
Cocktails, because ducks fly together.
Oh my God.
When the cows are mewing and they're turning circles in the pasture.
That's part 2.